Ice Apocalypse. This is how you can stock up on the greatest beauties. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 301 Take Zhao Mimi and others back to Taoyuan to lead. Li Xiaoluo looked at Lin Mengxin and nodded. That's right. From now on, this super cruise ship will be the military base of our Taoyuan territory. Although it is just a cruise ship, it has many functions, such as Central Park and golf courses, as well as boxing gyms, rock climbing walls, shooting ranges, etc. As long as you plan it yourself, it can be used as a training military. The base is still okay. Hearing what Li Xiaoluo said, Lin Mengxin's eyes suddenly lit up, because in this comparison, this cruise ship is indeed more suitable for training than the one in Taoyuan Ling. The main reason was that Lin Mengxin had never been on a super cruise ship like this before, so she thought it was just a bigger ship, but she didn't expect that this cruise ship had so many functions. Li Xiaoluo looked at Lin Mengxin and said, however, the 200 female soldiers trained this time will be a little different from the previous training of female soldiers from Taoyuan leader. This time you need to conduct planned training for them according to the tasks I gave them. That's right, the training required by Li Xiaoluo this time is definitely a little different from the previous training of female soldiers from Taoyuan leader. In the past, Lin Mengxin was asked to train the female soldiers of Taoyuan leader, who were mostly used to defend the city. The main training subjects were fighting and shooting, but this time, Li Xiaoluo needed Lin Mengxin to formulate a targeted training plan based on the tasks he arranged. The task given by Li Xiaoluo is, soon after, the flood will pass, and then another meteorite disaster will come. However, after the flood is over and the meteorite falls, there will be a safe period of 2 or 3 days. At that time, Li Xiaoluo needs to divide these 200 female soldiers into 5 brigades, and then ask them to go to nearby cities in advance to wait before the flood is over. Then, after the flood is over and meteorites fall from the sky, they will carry out the mission of searching for meteorites in their city. Then, drive and transport all the meteorites safely back to Taoyuan. At this point, the task is completed, so in Li Xiaoluo's opinion, Lin Mengxin wants to train these 200 female soldiers to be more versatile. For example, there will be a total of 5 brigades, each with 40 female soldiers. Each brigade will not only have commanders and combat personnel, but also scouts, drivers, communications corps, and medical corps. etc. In short, when traveling between 2 cities in the apocalypse, you must be prepared to face any danger. Li Xiaoluo's words made Lin Mengxin and the female soldiers she brought open their mouths. They felt as if they had heard something very important. Will the floods end soon? But after the flood is over, will a lot of meteorites fall from the sky? And after the meteorite falls, there will only be a safe period of 2 or 3 days, and then new dangers will appear. Lin Mengxin and the others felt as if they were listening to a book from heaven, but thinking about Li Xiaoluo's magic, it seems that they should believe whatever the Lord says. It seems that the days to come will become more and more dangerous, and the training mission assigned by the Lord this time seems to be very important. At this moment, Lin Mengxin's expression became much more serious because Taoyuan leader is not only her and Mrs. Xiaomin's home now, but also the home of many sisters. Even if she sacrifices her life, she doesn't want Taoyuan leader to be harmed. Li Xiaoluo didn't care what Lin Mengxin and the others thought. The reason why Li Xiaoluo told them this: first of all, women like Lin Mengxin and others who joined Taoyuan Ling early on are now very loyal to Taoyuan Ling, so they are not afraid that they will leak the secret, and now that the internet and communications are down, they have no way to reveal the secret. Secondly, only by telling them what they have to do can they formulate a training plan in advance, and then think of all the problems they may encounter, so that they can complete the task better by then. This mission is quite important to Li Xiaoluo. After explaining to Lin Mengxin and the others, Li Xiaoluo took Lin Mengxin and the others to meet the 200 women on the cruise ship, and officially appointed Lin Mengxin as the person in charge of the Taoyuan military base, fully responsible for the training of everyone here. Lin Mengxin looked at the 200 women on the cruise ship, but she didn't expect that there were some foreign women. The Lord has quite a wide network of connections, but it's not a problem for Lin Mengxin. As long as she can understand people, she will train them the same no matter which country they are from. Several female soldiers who came with Lin Mengxin visited the Blue Star Sun Never Sets cruise ship. Some people who had never been on such a super cruise ship were immediately shocked by this huge sea castle. This is not a ship. It is just like a high-end commercial building with various functions, and because this ship was doing some relatively great business before the end, there were many special venues. To be honest, this place is indeed more suitable for training than Taoyuan Ling. Then, Li Xiaoluo left weapons, communication equipment, food, etc. for Lin Mengxin and the others to use for training, and then left the affairs here to Lin Mengxin. Li Xiaoluo would just wait and see the results. Then Li Xiaoluo teleported and appeared directly in the hotel. Seeing Li Xiaoluo appear, the women in the hotel all said hello to Li Xiaoluo with excitement, especially Zhao Mimi. Li Xiaoluo did not come back one night after she left. Although she knew that Li Xiaoluo was very powerful and should not be in any danger, she still couldn't help but feel worried. Li Xiaoluo looked at Zhao Mimi and said, "This time your stronghold number 1 discovered that the enemy's fleet was successful. You have all the women who are qualified to go to Taoyuan leader. Get ready, I will take you to the Taoyuan leader headquarters later. From now on, you will have officially become the leader of Taoyuan. Then, you select 2 people who perform well among the remaining people in stronghold number 1 to succeed you as the managers here, and let them continue to manage this stronghold together with Zhao Zhuan in the future." Zhao Mimi showed a charming smile on her face and said in a soft voice, "I understand, I will make arrangements right away." Being able to follow Li Xiaoluo to Taoyuan to receive it is what they have always longed for, and now it is finally coming true. Gilarina and Qin Xianglin on the side were also full of excitement. In fact, Gilarina was fine. Who told her to have a good relationship with Zhao Mimi? Zhao Mimi had already spoken to her, so she could go there by then. Taoyuan leads. So Gilarina is actually already prepared in her heart, but Qin Xianglin on the side really didn't expect that she could also go to Taoyuan to get it. Just like when he was suddenly appointed as the manager of the stronghold by Li Xiaoluo, Qin Xianglin was also very confused. She still doesn't know how she became a manager. If Mr. Li was interested in her body, she would definitely not believe it. There are many women in stronghold number 1 who are prettier and have better figures than her. Moreover, women are very sensitive to men's gaze. From the way Mr. Li usually looks at her, Qin Xianglin knew that Mr. Li didn't mean that to her at all. Chapter 302 The Shocked Women. Zhao Mimi, Gilarina and Qin Xianglin were able to live in Taoyuan, which immediately made all the women in the hotel red with envy, especially Qin Xianglin. Many women think they are much better than her in all aspects, but why are they not as lucky as her? Even Zhao Zhuan, who was exiled to this stronghold, was actually extremely envious. In her heart she really wants to go back to Taoyuan to get it. It's a pity that she won't be able to go back this time. She still needs to make more meritorious deeds and perform more, but at this moment, everyone has also seen the benefits of becoming a manager. As long as they become managers, they will have the opportunity to make contributions. This gives you the priority to go to Taoyuan to get it. So Li Xiaoluo handed over the power of appointing new managers to Zhao Mimi, and everyone immediately surrounded Zhao Mimi, hoping that she would give them a management quota based on their past friendship. Naturally, Li Xiaoluo is too lazy to take care of these little things. Moreover, the real reason why Zhao Mimi, Gilarina, and Qin Xianglin were able to go to Taoyuan to lead them was not because Li Xiaoluo said they had made meritorious deeds. This is just an excuse for Li Xiaoluo. Needless to say, Zhao Mimi, Li Xiaoluo took her to Taoyuan because she became Li Xiaoluo's woman. As for Gilarina and Qin Xianglin, Li Xiaoluo naturally did it because they have supernatural talents. Just let them hone their character in this stronghold. There is no need to keep them here all the time in the future. It will not be so easy for women in this stronghold to be promoted to Taoyuan. Of course, Li Xiaoluo would not say this directly, so there is no need to dampen their enthusiasm. After Zhao Mimi and the others had arranged things at stronghold number 1, Li Xiaoluo picked up Alice and took them all on his exclusive speedboat. Although Li Xiaoluo's speedboat is small, it can still accommodate 5 or 6 people. In fact, there are many big ships docked nearby, but Li Xiaoluo is too lazy to drive those big ships, and they are not as fast and convenient as a speedboat. But Li Xiaoluo thought about it and drove the speedboat to the side of those ships, and then took 5 ships into the system space in succession. In addition to the Blue Star Sun Never Sets cruise ship, Li Charlotte brought back a total of 10 other ships this time. These 10 ships were used by Li Charlotte to transport the trained female soldiers to other cities. The reason why Li Xiaoluo wants to put 5 ships into the system space now is mainly just in case, because docking these big ships here after the end of the world will definitely attract the jealousy of some survivors. Although Lin Mengxin and the others are guarding them, ordinary survivors or teams may not be able to defeat them head-on, but when the time comes, Those survivors will not rule out using some dirty means to try to destroy all the ships here. Lin Mengson and the others have the weapons given by Li Xiaoluo, so they will definitely not be afraid of a head-on confrontation. But it will be a bit difficult to defend the enemy at all times and cause damage. Just like before the end of the world, the navy of the world's most powerful country fought with a slipper army in the Arabian Peninsula. Even if it was countless times stronger, others could still destroy you and hit the merchant ships you passed. There is also the war between Damao and Xiaomao. Although Damao is much stronger, Damao's navy has been beaten by Xiaomao many times. It's really hard to guard against, not to mention Li Xiaoluo's fleet. If it docks here and is sunk by others by then, even if Li Xiaoluo trains 200 female soldiers, he will not have water transportation to transport troops. So for insurance, Li Xiaoluo took the 5 ships into the system space, and then put the 5 ships over to Taoyuan leader. This is called not putting eggs in one basket. By then, even if a ship is damaged in one place, Li Xiaoluo will still have a ship to use. Li Xiaoluo's speedboat took several women with him and quickly returned to Longting Villa. After Li Xiaoluo and the girls got off the small speedboat and set foot on the land belonging to the Taoyuan territory, Alice and Zhao Mimi looked at the villa area in front of them, with curious expressions on their faces. Is this Taoyuan color? In today's water world, this is indeed a place like a peach blossom garden. Even Alice kept nodding her head. This was in line with her idea of a place where a powerful person like Charlotte Li would live. A great person will live a good life no matter what time he is. Lord Li Xiaoluo had just landed ashore when a group of female soldiers in camouflage uniforms carried guns and trotted up to Li Xiaoluo with neat steps. Then they stood at attention and saluted, saying hello to Li Xiaoluo in unison. It's really very impressive. Zhao Mimi and Gulai Irina could not help but sigh in their hearts. Zhou Xuan did not lie to them. The female soldiers led by Taoyuan could really give them a sense of security. Li Xiaoluo took the girls all the way back to Villa Number 1. Looking over, Zhao Mimi and the others felt that this place was no different from before the apocalypse. People here don't seem to be living in the apocalypse. The women I met along the way all had genuine smiles on their faces, and most of them looked good too. After entering Villa Number 1, Shen Miaomio and a group of women greeted Li Xiaoluo at the door. Wow, it's Zhao Mimi and Guli Renea. I didn't expect to see them. Why are there still crooked nuts with blue eyes? Has my brother-in-law gone abroad? When Shen Yanayan and Zhao Xiaolu saw the women behind Li Xiaoluo, they couldn't help but make a fuss and exclaimed. When Zhao Mimi and Gulai Irina saw the women on Shen Miaomio's side, they couldn't help but sigh. These women are not only beautiful, but also extremely clean. Puppy, it's so dark. In addition to Shen Miaomio and the others, those who came out to greet Li Xiaoluo also had 3 puppies brought over by Li Xiaoluo. Several chubby little guys were naturally very familiar with the smell of Li Xiaoluo. They all ran to Li Xiaoluo's feet with their short legs and shook their little tails vigorously. The women, including Alice, were instantly adorable, and they also lamented the magic of Taoyuan color again. The survivors in other places were all skinny from hunger, but even the dogs in Taoyuan territory were chubby. This is the difference. This shows how wealthy Taoyuan Ling is. After entering Villa Number 1, Alice and Zhao Mimi were taken to wash up and change into new clothes. Then, all the women were shocked again. It turns out that there is electricity and hot water in Villa Number 1, and you can use a hairdryer after taking a shower. Everything is the same as before the apocalypse. Chapter 303, Take stock of strength and prepare for the third disaster. Time flies. A few weeks have passed in the blink of an eye. Early in the morning, Li Xiaoluo slowly opened his eyes on time, then took away Zhou Xiaotong's white arms surrounding him, and planned to get up. Li Xiaoluo's movement made Zhou Xiaotong, who was sleeping soundly, drowsily open his eyes. The main reason is that Zhou Xiaotong is too tired. After all, Sister Zhao Min suddenly came to visit relatives yesterday, and she had to bear Li Xiaoluo's reward alone last night. Boss, why are you so early today? During the recent period, Li Xiaoluo has almost become a homebody. He occasionally drives a speedboat out for a stroll, and spends most of the other time at home eating, drinking and having fun, and then he sleeps until very late every day. Li Xiaoluo replied, well, something happened today. The flood is almost over. The third disaster is coming soon. There are some things we should prepare for. Hearing what Li Xiaoluo said, Zhou Xiaotong suddenly felt like he woke up, and then he sat up directly. Boss, is there anything we need to do today? The Reason why Josiah Tong is excited is because as one of the people closest to Li Xiaoluo, Josiah Tong naturally knows what the third disaster means. Josiah Tong wore a lace suspender pajamas last night. Her skin is white and her figure is getting more and more perfect, especially because of the style of her lace pajamas. The opening is a bit big. When Josiah Tong sits like this, Li Charlotte can almost see the white scenery on her chest. Li Xiaoluo swallowed. "You are not trying to help. You are just trying to make me continue to waste time in bed." This little secretary is really becoming more and more attractive. Josiah Tong naturally felt Li Xiaoluo's gaze. Her face suddenly turned red, and then she quickly reached out to cover her chest conscience. She really didn't expose herself on purpose. This sexy pajamas was chosen for her by Li Xiaoluo last night. Can you blame her? Fortunately, Li Xiaoluo did have something to do today, so he didn't do morning exercises with Josiah Tong. Li Xiaoluo and Josiah Tong came out of the room, and Xiaomin quickly brought out breakfast. She didn't expect Li Xiaoluo to wake up so early today, but fortunately she went to bed early last night, so she naturally got up earlier. While having breakfast, Li Xiaoluo was thinking about things while eating. The main thing is the current situation and strength of Taoyuan leader, and then what should he do next? The first is the current strength of Taoyuan leader. The current main territory of Taoyuan territory is divided into the headquarters, Longding Villa, the sub-territory, Wutangdong community, and the number 1 and number 2 strongholds. Let's talk about the situation at the Taoyuan leader headquarters first. There are a total population of 98 people, including 5 people at the Lord's wife level, 50 female soldiers from the security team, and the rest are family members and support staff. Next is the Taoyuan sub-territory, with a total population of 88 people, including 2 people at the Lord's wife level, 50 female security team members, and the rest are logistics personnel. The next step is the situation of stronghold number 1. Because Li Xiaoluo counts the military training base of the Blue Star Sun Never Sets cruise ship as stronghold number 1, the strength of stronghold number 1 is actually the strongest. The current population of stronghold number 1 is 278, of which about 200 belong to the female army, and the rest are management personnel and peripheral logistics personnel. Finally, there is stronghold number 2. There are a total of 36 people in stronghold number 2, including 1 reserve lord's wife, 10 reserve soldiers of the security team, and the rest are management personnel and peripheral logistics personnel. The above is the general situation and strength of Li Xiaoluo Taoyuan leader. Speaking of which, even after such a long time, the population of Li Xiaoluo's territory has not increased much. In fact, there are still many survivors after the apocalypse, but let alone joining the Taoyuan territory, even if you can stay in the number 1 and number 2 strongholds, it is not that easy. Not everyone will take in Li Xiaoluo. First of all, they must be women, and secondly, their age and friendliness must pass the test. Even if they are allowed to stay at the stronghold, Li Xiaoluo will not waste food in vain. The above is the general situation of Taoyuan collar now. After Li Xiaoluo sorted it out for a while, he called up the system interface and took a look at his own situation. The strongest shelter system in the Doomsday, Lord, Li Xiaoluo, Level 1, Lord's Mansion, Villa Number 1, Longding, 36th floor, Building A, Wutangdong Community, Innate Ability, Exploring Eye, Special Abilities, Space, 20,000, Teleportation, Level 1, Contracted Subordinates. 5/5, Josiah Tong, Shen Miao, Jiang Panpin, Alice, Anna, Energy Points. 0, Shop, Level 1, in Li Xiaoluo's system panel. The biggest change during this period may be the quota of 5 contract subordinates. After careful consideration, Li Xiaoluo finally filled up all the contracts, in addition to Josiah Tong, Shen Miao and Xiao Panpin who had already contracted. The people behind Li Xiaoluo's contract chose Alice and Anna. Alice is gifted with lightning powers. Needless to say, this power is also very awesome. Li Xiaoluo must be able to choose. As for the last spot, Li Xiaoluo actually struggled with it for a long time, because Qin Yumi's healing power is also pretty good. Anna's metal power is also quite useful. In fact, if Li Xiaoluo had not contracted Josiah Tong at the beginning, Li Xiaoluo would definitely have contracted both Qin Yumi and Anna. After all, Josiah Tong's water-type abilities really have no appeal to Li Xiaoluo. That is to say, Josiah Tong was the first woman with a friendship score of over 80 and a talent for supernatural powers. Li Xiaoluo was anxious to start a business, so she signed a contract with Josiah Tong. Therefore, the places at the back are limited. So Xialuo can only try his best to choose the one that is most useful to him. Apart from the fact that the quota of contract subordinates is full, there are not many other changes in the system board. The main reason is that there are no energy points. However, the third disaster is coming soon, crystals will appear soon, and Lee Charlotte will completely change this situation. Husband, is it going to be dangerous this time? Can we do anything for you? While Li Xiaoluo was meditating, the beautiful woman Zhao Min also learned from Zhou Xiaotong that the third disaster was coming. Now I see that Li Xiaoluo is a little absent-minded when eating, still thinking about things, and Zhao Min suddenly has a trace of worry on his face. Now, she has become accustomed to the life after the apocalypse, and she feels happier than before the apocalypse. So Zhao Min is actually very afraid of losing her current life. When Li Xiaoluo came back from his thoughts, Zhao Min quickly asked. Li Xiaoluo glanced at Zhao Minimum. In fact, Zhou Xiaotong had already asked this question when they were in bed. She also wanted to share Li Xiaoluo's worries, but when Zhou Xiaotong awakens her powers in the future, she will really be able to help a lot. As for Zhao Min, Li Xiaoluo will not dislike her. From now on, she will continue to take care of logistics and warm the bed. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelists. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 304 Mobilization. Before the war, 200 female soldiers set off. On the deck of the Blue Star Sun Never Sets cruise ship, when Li Xiaoluo brought them over from Taoyuan, a team of heroic female soldiers had already assembled and were waiting for Li Xiaoluo's review. Lin Mengxin was wearing a camouflage uniform and stood straight at the front of the team. Behind Lin Mengxin, 200 female soldiers were lined up neatly. Then all the female soldiers looked at the man in front of them with fiery eyes. After leaving Ocean City, they lived a very tiring period of time, but they were also very fulfilled and happy. At least they no longer have to live in fear and pain all the time. At least they can live like human beings, and they never thought that after the end of the world, they would be able to eat and drink without worries every day, eat delicious meals every day, and wash themselves clean and tidy. All of this was brought to them by the man in front of them, and all the female soldiers have become even more loyal to Li Xiaoluo after Lin Mengxin's military ideological education for so long. Lin Mengxin trotted up to Li Xiaoluo, then stood at attention, saluted, and said loudly, "Lord, all the female soldiers have been assembled. There should be 200 people, but there are actually 200 people. Please give your instructions." Li Xiaoluo has always been a person who doesn't want to be too troublesome, especially when it comes to small things. For example, during this pre-war mobilization, Li Xiaoluo actually found the rules and rhetoric of the army introduced by Lin Mengxin quite troublesome. However, Li Xiaoluo also knows that these rules can actually greatly unite the unity of female soldiers, and can also allow female soldiers to follow the rules and prohibitions and improve their combat effectiveness. So although Li Xiaoluo finds it troublesome, he also has an advantage, that is, he can delegate power to Lin Mengxin and let Lin Mengxin do it by herself. He will never dictate some details, just like the daily management of Taoyuan leader. Li Xiaoluo also delegates power to Shen Miao and Zhou Xiaotong. Li Xiaoluo rarely interferes with specific small things. Li Xiaoluo didn't realize that he was lazy. Li Xiaoluo returned Lin Mengxin with a military salute, then looked at all the female soldiers lined up neatly and said, "Female soldiers, everyone has worked hard. I know that all of you are very tired and hard during this period of training. But there is no way, in this apocalypse, it is so cruel. The weak and the strong are everywhere. Only when we become stronger can we not be bullied by others. Only then can you be qualified to live a good life. As the saying goes, it takes 1,000 days to raise an army but only a short time to use it. Now there is a task related to whether our Taoyuan territory can continue to be strong and prosperous in this apocalypse. You need to complete it. This mission may have certain dangers, because after going to other cities, no one knows what dangers you will encounter, and you have no support, so you can only fight your way out on your own. But I promise you here that as long as you can complete your mission and come back alive, you will become the official female soldiers of Taoyuan leader. From now on, Taoyuan leader will guarantee your life. From now on, you will be the best group of women in this world. So, tell me now, do you have the confidence to complete this mission? Have, all. The female soldiers roared 3 times in unison, and the loud sound almost resounded through the sky. This shows their determination. After all, becoming a true Taoyuan leader is equivalent to having an iron rice bowl in the future, which is almost the biggest dream of all the female soldiers on the cruise ship. After a brief pre-battle mobilization, all the female soldiers lined up and boarded their respective ships. The 200 female soldiers were divided into 5 brigades, and each brigade consisted of 40 female soldiers. Then, each brigade is equipped with 2 transport ships of more than 500 tons, and each ship also has trucks, off-road vehicles, gasoline and other supplies. These vehicles and gasoline are used to allow the female soldiers to easily carry out their missions after the flood is over, and then drive back to Taoyuan. In addition, Xialuo equipped each female soldier brigade with 30 guns, 1,000 rounds of ammunition, 10 grenades, walkie-talkies and other equipment. It can be said that Xialuo definitely spent a lot of money on these people. This is why all female soldiers are full of confidence, because Xialuo didn't ask them to deal with any powerful enemy, he just asked them to collect some stones. With such powerful firepower, they couldn't believe that there would be survivors seeking death, but in fact, for Xialuo, although the investment this time was relatively large, they were just ordinary supplies. As long as he can get back a large amount of crystals in the end, he will definitely make a lot of money. When the boat of the 5 female soldiers brigade slowly left Stronghold Number 1 and headed towards the 5 nearby cities, Xialuo knew that he just had to wait for the result of victory. Then Xialuo said to Lin Mengxin, "There will be no training in this stronghold from now on. You and the instructors you brought here before can also return to the territory. You will also have tasks by then." Lin Mengxin nodded. She actually missed Taoyuan Ling a little. The female military instructors who were led by Lin Mengxin from Taoyuan were naturally even happier when they heard that they could go back. In their hearts, Taoyuan Collar is the safest place and their home. Now the business trip is finally over and you can go home. Xialuo called Zhou Zhuan again, and then Li Ziyang. Zhou Zhuan is the person who was previously exiled from Taoyuan to Stronghold Number 1, and Li Ziyang is Xiao Lingling's grandmother. During this period, Zhou Zhuan was mainly responsible for the management of Stronghold Number 1, and Li Ziyang was mainly responsible for the meals and logistics for the more than 200 female soldiers on the cruise ship. They have made certain contributions. After the 3rd disaster strikes, it will definitely be more dangerous outside, and the same is true here at Stronghold Number 1, so Xialuo allowed them to live in Taoyuan. After all, if you have merit, you should be rewarded, especially Xiao Lingling and Li Ziyang's grandparents. Xialuo will definitely take them back, which can be considered as a complete repayment of the kindness from the previous life. Zhou Zhuan and Li Ziyang burst into tears of joy when they heard that they could also go to Taoyuan to get it. They didn't expect that happiness would come so suddenly. Xialuo looked at Zhou Zhuan and Li Ziyang. "For the women under your command, you can also select a group of people who are loyal and perform well, and then give them a chance to join the Taoyuan leader. However, after they go to Taoyuan, they are only temporary residents. They have a 1-month assessment period. If their performance is unqualified, they will still be kicked out of Taoyuan. In addition, you can also tell other women that a new disaster will come soon. Women who are not qualified to join the Taoyuan territory can choose to leave this stronghold because in the future, the outside will be extremely dangerous, and I will no longer promise to protect this stronghold." Security of this stronghold. Chapter 305. Let's talk about the business later. Hearing Li Xiaoluo's words, Zhou Zhuan and Li Ziyang were stunned for a moment, and even Lin Mengxin and the other female soldiers were stunned. What does the Lord mean by this? Is he going to give up this stronghold? But if the outside is very dangerous in the future, then there is really no need to keep this stronghold. Moreover, there are too many survivors who need to be saved after the apocalypse. They themselves are lucky enough to join the Taoyuan territory and have a chance to survive in the future. How can they have the right to worry about the fate of others? After Lin Mengxin, Zhou Zhuan and the others packed up, there were many small boats on the Blue Star Sun Never Sets cruise ship. Li Xiaoluo asked Lin Mengxin and the others to drive a few small boats back on their own. This place is not too far from the sub-territory. Li Xiaoluo's people often moved around here before, so there is basically no big danger in this area. Li Xiaoluo has arranged things for Stronghold Number 1, and he plans to go to Stronghold Number 2 to have a look. After all, there will be a new disaster tomorrow, and even Li Xiaoluo will not be able to come outside at any time in the future. Today I happen to take care of all the trivial things. Driving the speedboat, Li Xiaoluo quickly arrived at the downstairs of Stronghold Number 2. At this time, in Wang Heifeng's house at Number 2 Stronghold, 4 women were playing cards. It was Feng Xiaomei and the others who were the stronghold managers appointed by Sun Kaianqian and Li Xiaoluo. Then a man stood aside and was ordered to do this and that by Feng Xiaomei and the three women from time to time, although the man would occasionally show a sinister look on his face when Feng Xiaomei and the three women could not see him, but once he faced Feng Xiaomei and the other three women, the man's face would immediately show a humble and flattering smile. This man is none other than Wang Heifeng, the original owner of this room. The four women playing poker are naturally Sun Kaianqian, Wang Heifeng's wife before his death, as well as the three women Li Xiaoluo saved from Liu Filong's gang of thugs. Feng Xiaomei and the three of them. After Li Xiaoluo left here, he handed over the management of this number 2 stronghold to Feng Xiaomei and 3 other women, including Wang Heifeng and his wife. Later, although the number 2 stronghold was not as lively and as important to Li Xiaoluo as the number 1 stronghold, Li Xiaoluo would come over to visit occasionally every few days. As for what to come here to see, everyone knows very well. After all, every time Li Xiaoluo came over, Sun Kaianqian would run to the original guest room, and then she and Li Xiaoluo would stay in there for more than an hour before coming out. Even a fool knows what Li Xiaoluo and Sun Kaianqian are doing inside. Even Wang Heifeng knows it. But since Li Xiaoluo came here for the second time, Wang Heifeng has been quiet every time. He no longer glared at Li Xiaoluo, nor said any cruel words to Li Xiaoluo, because when Li Xiaoluo was away, Sun Kaianqian completely gave up on Wang Heifeng. While Feng Xiaomei and the other 3 women started to train Wang Heifeng as for how to train, Feng Xiaomei and the others watched palace fighting dramas a lot before the end of the world, and they were very clear about the rules of the palace maids and eunuchs. They also knew very well what punishment the maids and eunuchs should receive if they did something wrong, so they used all their means on Wang Heifeng. After all, Feng Xiaomei and the others had been tortured by a group of thugs for a long time. Although it was not Wang Heifeng who did it, Feng Xiaomei and the others now hate men, and Wang Heifeng was not a good bird to begin with. After falling into the hands of Feng Xiaomei and the others, Wang Heifeng's life can be imagined. This is also the reason why Wang Heifeng behaved extremely honestly when Li Xiaoluo came over the past few times, because if he doesn't behave well, those perverted women will torture him severely. Wang Heifeng is scared. He can only endure the humiliation and bear the burden. To be honest, Li Xiaoluo was actually a little uncomfortable with it at the time. After all, he could no longer see young Master Wang looking so angry, and it seemed that there was less fun. Madam, it's the sound of a speedboat. It must be Mr. Li here. When Li Xiaoluo's speedboat came nearby, the women who were playing cards naturally heard the sound immediately. Then a woman quickly threw away the playing cards in her hand, ran to the window to check, and suddenly said in surprise, "Madam, it is indeed Mr. Li who is here." The beautiful young woman Sun Kaianqian, who was holding the playing cards, suddenly blushed when she heard the woman shouting loudly. Then she blushed and threw the playing cards in her hand on the table, and quickly wanted to run away. Go back to the guest room, because Sun Kaianqian knew that every time Li Xiaoluo came over, he would go to that guest room to look for her. Then Li Xiaoluo will talk to her and leave here. Sun Kaianqian seems to be used to this. The last time Wang Heifeng slapped her, it completely interrupted the relationship between her and Wang Heifeng. She no longer feels guilty about Wang Heifeng. Then when Li Xiaoluo was away, Sun Kaianqian, Feng Xiaomei and the others played cards and read books. In fact, she felt that her life was pretty good now, but this time, Sun Kaianqian misunderstood Li Xiaoluo. This time when Li Xiaoluo came over, she really didn't go to the room with Sun Kaianqian to talk about her thoughts on life. Li Xiaoluo came here for business this time. Hey, it's all habits that kill people. Li Xiaoluo said that since Sun Kaianqian was so enthusiastic, he would reluctantly satisfy her first and then talk about business. After turning off the speedboat, Li Xiaoluo went upstairs. Feng Xiaomei and the others had already opened the door to greet them. Even Wang Heifeng stood in the welcoming team. I have to say that Mr. Wang's desire to survive is still very strong. Li Xiaoluo was too lazy to be hypocritical with Wang Heifeng. After saying hello to Feng Xiaomei and the others, he walked to the bedroom where Sun Kaianqian was. Opening the door, Sun Kaianqian was already lying on her side on the bed, and she was still covered with a quilt. She seemed to have fallen asleep. Li Xiaoluo couldn't help but smile. This beautiful young woman was still so shy and kept hiding her ears every time. Li Xiaoluo walked over and lifted the quilt directly. Good guy. Sun Kaianqian didn't know when she had put on a purple lace suspender belt, and her skin was as white as snow. Because she was lying on her side, her perfect figure showed a real S shape. Li Xiaoluo couldn't help but reach out and slapped her round buttocks. It felt really soft. Don't pretend to be asleep. I came here for something else this time, son. Qian Qian's delicate body, lying on her side, trembled slightly, but she made no sound with her back to Li Xiaoluo. Her face was as red as blood, and she couldn't help but think angrily, when did you come here without something? She knew that Li Xiaoluo had always wanted her to take the initiative, but Sun Qianqian would not do as he wished. Looking at Sun Qianqian, who was motionless, Li Xiaoluo sighed. It seems that we should discuss the business later. Chapter 306. Another surprise. More than an hour later, Li Xiaoluo and fully dressed Sun Qianqian returned to the living room. Charlotte, you drink tea. As soon as Li Xiaoluo sat down on the sofa, Wang Heifeng respectfully handed a cup of tea to Li Xiaoluo. Looking at the current young master Wang, Li Xiaoluo couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Feng Xiaomi and the other women are quite capable, and they actually trained a proud and arrogant young master Wang to be so obedient. I don't even mind wearing a hat, but at this moment, Wang Heifeng's eyes were full of anger when he looked at Li Xiaoluo and Sun Qianqian, these adulterers and adulterers. In the past few times, every time Li Xiaoluo came over to have in-depth and simple exchanges with Sun Qianqian would pretend to be asleep just like the first time and would not come out with Li Xiaoluo. After all, although Sun Qianqian has completely drawn a clear line with Wang Heifeng, if she and Li Xiaoluo come out to face Wang Heifeng after just communicating with Li Xiaoluo in the room, she will always feel a little awkward and feel that she is bullying Wang Heifeng too much? Exclamation mark. So before, Sun Qianqian pretended to be asleep every time and waited for Li Xiaoluo to leave before she came out again. But this time, Sun Qianqian didn't care anymore, because the embarrassing days between her and Wang Heifeng will soon be over. Just now Li Xiaoluo told her that this time he came here to take her to Taoyuan. I originally planned to leave directly, but I was delayed for more than an hour just now when I went to Sun Qianqian's room. At that time, Sun Qianqian was so embarrassed that she wanted to find a crack in the ground to crawl in. It turned out that the first thing Li Xiaoluo said to her today was that he really wanted to do something with her, but Sun Qianqian subconsciously thought that Li Xiaoluo was looking for her just for that kind of thing. But no matter what, Sun Qianqian is still very happy. It's not that Sun Qianqian really wants to go to Taoyuan leader, although all the women in the entire stronghold, including Feng Xiaomi, regard going to Taoyuan leader as their biggest wish, but Sun Qianqian is actually fine wherever she goes. She just simply doesn't want to stay here after all. She and Wang Heifeng used to be husband and wife, and now seeing Wang Heifeng become like this, although he was solely responsible for it, Sun Qianqian still felt embarrassed and unhappy in her heart, and Sun Qianqian knew that Wang Heifeng seemed to have become a man without dignity on the surface, but deep down he must be full of hatred, so as long as she continues to stay here with Wang Heifeng, Sun Qianqian can't help but feel awkward and have random thoughts. Sun Qianqian really wants to change places, start a new life, and forget everything here. Mr. Li, this is the woman we have taken in these days. We will bring her here to show you. At this time, Feng Xiaomi opened the door and walked in from the outside with 7 or 8 women. Although there are dozens of people in this number 2 stronghold now, not all of them live in Wang Heifeng's house. Only Sun Qianqian and Feng Xiaomi manage Wang Heifeng's house. One of the main purposes of Li Xiaoluo establishing the number 1 and number 2 strongholds is to collect talents for Taoyuan leader, but in the past, although some female soldiers were sent here to the Taoyuan leader, the talents with supernatural talents were not discovered. Now that the third disaster is coming, Li Xiaoluo has no intention of continuing with these strongholds, but since Feng Xiaomi had brought all the people, Li Xiaoluo subconsciously used his exploratory eyes to check out the newcomers. This is Li Xiaoluo's current habit. It would be fine if these women didn't appear in front of him, but as long as it is a woman who appears in front of Li Xiaoluo must use the exploratory eyes to look at it. Moreover, the third disaster is coming soon. By then, survivors with supernatural talents will gradually awaken their powers. Li Xiaoluo's chances of missing out will be much smaller, so if you have the chance now, you should definitely check it out. Although, Li Xiaoluo doesn't have much hope, but what if, Zhang Xiaoyu, friendliness level 41, potential value 10, special ability, none. Li Xiaoluo really didn't expect that the friendliness of the first woman he saw would be so low. It seemed like it had been a long time since he had seen a woman with such a low level of friendliness. Of course, Li Xiaoluo is referring to the women in Taoyuan territory or the stronghold. They have received favors from Li Xiaoluo to some extent. Normally, their friendliness towards Li Xiaoluo would be higher. If it were a woman who didn't know Li Xiaoluo outside, then there would be no Li Xiaoluo. Even if you are someone who hates men extremely, it is possible that your friendship level will be in single digits when you first see Li Xiaoluo. Regarding this woman named Zhang Xianwei, Li Xiaoluo just made a casual impression and had no special thoughts. He would not kill her just because she was not friendly. Anyway, some people in Stronghold number 1 and number May 2nd also let them fend for themselves in the future. After all, there is no such thing as a banquet that never ends. After the third disaster struck, Li Xiaoluo had to start preparing to strengthen Taoyuan's defense construction, but he didn't have much time to worry about these strongholds. Su Yan, friendliness level 66, potential value 78, special ability, metal power, to be awakened. Li Xiaoluo sighed while looking at the information of the remaining women. When he saw the sixth woman, Li Xiaoluo's eyes lit up. I didn't expect it. It's really a surprise, and it's a metal-type superpower. No, Li Xiaoluo suddenly reacted. It seems to be a metal-type superpower. Li Xiaoluo quickly took another look. Yes, it was indeed a metal power, metal superpower talent. This power is quite special. If it were before the end of the world, you might be able to become a mechanical master, but even in the post-apocalyptic world, this power feels quite useful. After all, in the apocalypse in the future, all shelters will actually build walls and other fortifications to defend against monster attacks. However, the walls of ordinary shelters can basically only be built bit by survivors, but in Li Xiaoluo's Taoyuan territory, there was already a person with earth-type superpowers, and now there is a metal-type superpower talent. Let alone building walls in the future, even building walls with reinforced concrete structures would not be enough. What a difficult thing. After taking a look at all the women Feng Xiaomi brought in, there was no one with supernatural talents. However, Li Xiaoluo was very satisfied with the unexpected surprise of Su Yan. Sure enough, it was right to set up strongholds number 1 and 2. These two places brought surprises to Li Xiaoluo. Li Xiaoluo gave Feng Xiaomi and the others the same order. The 3 managers can go to Taoyuan together to lead them, and they will be the leaders of Taoyuan from now on. Then, Feng Xiaomi and others can take some of the people who they think are loyal and perform well in the stronghold to Taoyuan, which can be regarded as a reward for staying in the number 2 stronghold for so long. Of course, Li Xiaoluo must also take the newcomer named Su Yan to Taoyuan to receive her. Chapter 307, The Coquettish Zhou Xiaotuang. The next day, Longding Villa area. Everyone in Taoyuan leader got up early today, including Lord Li Xiaoluo. In Villa number 1, Shen Miaomio and other women all looked serious today and felt a little uneasy. If they don't know anything, then they may still eat and drink as usual. But who gave them a magical man? They know more things than ordinary survivors, and naturally the pressure they bear is greater. But fortunately, as long as Li Xiaoluo doesn't panic, even if they know there is disaster and danger, they won't be too afraid. Russell, the intercom rang. Madam, the water level is really falling, and it's falling very fast. After listening to the report, Shen Miaomio said it loudly to Li Xiaoluo and all the women in Villa number 1. Suddenly, some women couldn't help but look at Li Xiaoluo in surprise, especially Alice and Xiaomimi. Alice and Xiaomimi are newcomers, so they don't know Li Charlotte very well yet. They previously thought that Li Xiaoluo only had the superpower of elusiveness in space, but they did not expect that Li Xiaoluo also had the superpower of prophecy. Li Xiaoluo said yesterday that the water level would drop this morning and the flood would end soon. Unexpectedly, it really came true today. Only Shen Miaomio and Qin Yumei are already accustomed to Li Xiaoluo's magic. Li Xiaoluo said to Shen Miaomio, "Miaomio, you look here, and I'll go over and have a look at the other side of the territory. Remember, when the time comes, you should immediately send out all the female soldiers as I said before, then you stay in Villa number 1 and don't go out." Shen Miaomio nodded. "Brother Xialuo, I understand, I know what to do." In fact, Li Xiaoluo arranged everything very clearly. For example, when will the flood completely end, and when will the meteorite rain fall? How should the female soldiers of the security team go out to search for meteorites? Also, which area of the city will the headquarters be responsible for searching, and which area will the sub-territory be responsible for? An area. Shen Miaomio and the others just need to do as they are told. In addition, the only ones who can go out to perform the mission this time are female soldiers from the security team. Shen Miaomio and the others are definitely not allowed to go. Li Xiaoluo even gave the names of some women. These women must stay in villain number 1 and cannot go out for a day or two. The names of the women given by Li Xiaoluo were naturally Shen Miao, Qin Yumei, Alice and other women with supernatural talents. The reason why they are not allowed to leave villain number 1 is naturally to ensure their safety. Because the flood is over, many survivors will come out to look for food or grab territory. At that time, Li Xiaoluo sent almost all the female soldiers of the Taoyuan leader out to perform tasks, so the defense power of the Taoyuan leader would definitely be greatly weakened. What if a team of thugs happen to break into Taoyuan territory and hurt them? No matter it hurts Li Xiaoluo's woman, or hurts any woman with supernatural talents, Li Xiaoluo will be heartbroken. After all, Li Xiaoluo put a lot of effort into finding every woman with supernatural talents, and he also invested a lot in each of them. Now it seems that he will soon be rewarded, and he will be able to lie flat against them in the future. Li Xiaoluo didn't want to make any mistakes in the last step. Therefore, before every woman with supernatural talents awakens her powers, let alone venturing outside to search for meteorites, they cannot even leave villain number 1. Only staying in villain number 1 is absolutely safe. Of course, Li Xiaoluo asked them to stay in villain number 1 and not go out, which was only temporary. In the future, when they awaken their powers and become stronger, they will be the female war goddesses of Taoyuan territory. From now on, I will definitely go out and kill everyone. When Li Xiaoluo came to the sub-territory from the portal, Zhou Xiaotong and Zhao Min also got up early, and then paid attention to the situation in the outside world at home. In fact, as the flood is about to end, Zhou Xiaotong and the others will feel more intuitively, because the water world before was almost submerged to the 10th floor of the community, but now, the water level has receded to the 5th floor. Moreover, the water level is still dropping at a speed visible to the naked eye. I believe that soon, the outside world will return to normal. Li Xiaoluo sat down on the sofa, then used the intercom to contact Lin Mengxin and asked her to inform all female soldiers to be ready for level 1 combat. It won't be long before they go out to perform their missions. Li Xiaoluo came here mainly to deliver weapons, ammunition and vehicles to them. After all, since the floods came, all the vehicles in the sub-territory have been submerged. If Lin Mengxin and the other female soldiers want a car to go out, they still have to rely on the cars in Li Xiaoluo's system space. Zhou Xiaotong waited for Li Xiaoluo to finish talking to Lin Mengxin. She twisted her waist and walked to Li Xiaoluo with a charming smile on her face. Then she threw her plump body directly into Li Xiaoluo's arms and hugged Li Xiaoluo's neck. Zhou Xiaotong said in a charming tone, "Boss, you promised me that when you get the crystals, you will be the first to awaken my powers." None of the survivors around the world know that meteorites will fall soon, let alone that there will be people with supernatural powers among the survivors in the future. But as Li Xiaoluo's woman, especially after the second flood, communications all over the world were basically completely interrupted. Li Xiaoluo told Shen Miao and Zhou Xiaotong many things. It's not that Li Xiaoluo said it to them intentionally, but sometimes he just said it smoothly when they talked about it. No more keeping it secret like before. Of course, except Li Xiaoluo's system, Li Xiaoluo will naturally not tell anyone about the existence of the system, and there is no need to let anyone know. So Zhou Xiaotong knew that she had supernatural talents, and also knew that if she wanted to awaken her powers, she needed crystals from meteorites. Zhou Xiaotong has actually been thinking about becoming a person with superpowers for a long time. The opportunity is coming now. Unexpectedly, Secretary Zhou, who usually behaves dignified and elegant, would even use seductive methods today. Moreover, with Zhao Min still watching from the side, it can be seen that the superpower is still very attractive. But yes, you are just an ordinary person at first, but suddenly someone says that you can become a powerful magician. Who wouldn't feel itchy? Li Xiaoluo felt a little pity. If he hadn't had something to do later, otherwise he would have accepted the temptation of his beautiful secretary even in broad daylight. After all, it was Li Xiaoluo's plan to let Zhou Xiaotong and the others awaken their powers. Otherwise, Li Xiaoluo has made so many preparations to obtain a large number of meteorites just to cultivate talents. Li Xiaoluo has always had a wish, that is, in the future, women can support Taoyuan color. He has bad teeth and can just lie down and eat soft food. Chapter 308 Darkness. Just when Li Xiaoluo and Zhou Xiaotong were making love to each other at home, Lin Mengxin and all the female soldiers from the security team downstairs were fully armed, and everyone's eyes were always focused on the outside world. Too fast. The water level outside has receded too quickly. The water level was still on the 5th floor just now, but it reached the 1st floor in a few minutes. Now the trash cans in the community are exposed, and there will be no water outside soon. Of course, the reason why all the female soldiers are concerned about the end of the flood is not because they expect the apocalypse to end. If the first stage of the ice disaster ended, the women in the entire Taoyuan territory really thought that the end was coming, and many women were very happy in their hearts after all. Even if the treatment of Taoyuan leader should be the best after the end of the world, it will definitely not be as good as before the end of the world. The women before the apocalypse are all hotties, and none of them want to return to the life before the apocalypse. It is a pity that after the ice disaster ended, there was another flood, and life in the apocalypse continued, and as time goes by, most women have begun to adapt to the life in Taoyuan color. There were no mobile phones or bustling nightlife, so they were naturally very uncomfortable at first, but there is no other way. If you want to survive, you have to adapt even if you don't adapt, and every time I see the miserable state of the women who have just joined the Taoyuan color, they are so scarred by being tortured and humiliated by men that they are so hungry that they almost lose their looks. Women who join Taoyuan Ling first will feel strong happiness every time. Happiness comes from comparison, and after getting used to the life of the apocalypse, the women in Taoyuan color discovered that their lives were actually pretty good. No more cell phones, no more staying up late, no more comparisons and pressure before the end. They feel that they sleep much better and smile from the bottom of their hearts a lot more. The little games they thought were childish before the apocalypse are now fun for them to play, so when they saw that the flood was about to end, the women in Taoyuan color didn't feel much anymore. Moreover, as the female soldiers of Taoyuan leader, they had actually heard the news from the captain a long time ago. After this flood is over, the apocalypse will not end, but will actually begin. This is what their lord said. Now all the women in Taoyuan leader almost respect their lord like a god. As long as Xialuo said it, they would definitely believe it. The reason why the female soldiers kept observing whether there was still water outside was because they knew that after the flood was completely over, they would go out to perform a task that was said to be very important to Taoyuan leader. It is said that that task is related to whether their Taoyuan leader will be strong in the future. It is also related to whether they can continue to live the same stable life in the future. That's why all the female soldiers looked outside anxiously. They all wanted to complete the mission urgently, because they want to continue living the life they are living now. If there is no Taoyuan leader in the future, then they really don't know what they will encounter. Captain, look at the sky. Just when everyone's attention was focused on the water level downstairs, a female soldier suddenly screamed in Lin Mengxin's ear. Suddenly, the female soldiers, including Lin Mengxin, subconsciously looked towards the sky. The sky was still sunny and cloudless just now, but at this time, the sky turned red without knowing it, and then in the center of the sky, there was an extremely huge vortex spinning, like a tornado. Before Lin Mengxin and the others were surprised, Lin Mengxin suddenly discovered that there seemed to be many black dots flying out of the super vortex, and then the black dots slowly grew from small to large, and quickly fell from the sky towards the ground. Lin Mengxin and the others can be sure that those are definitely not raindrops. Could it be that that is the meteorite that the Lord mentioned? But before Lin Mengxin could see clearly what the approaching meteorite looked like, the entire sky suddenly darkened, then the whole world turned dark, as if the light had been swallowed up by space. Then, they could feel the buildings starting to tremble, which seemed like a sign that the real end of the world had begun. Oops, there's an earthquake, run away, someone. Help me, a stone hit me and my leg was broken. In the darkness, the horrified screams of survivors could be heard from time to time throughout the community. This is what happened in the building next door. It seems that we encountered some danger, Captain. It seems there's an earthquake. Should we run to the open space downstairs? Yes, Captain. It seems that the Lord and his wife are still upstairs, right? Should we go and rescue the Lord and his wife? The sudden darkness made the female soldiers in the security team panic, and everyone began to ask Lin Mengxin constantly. Fortunately, after such a long period of training, the discipline and psychological quality of the female soldiers are very good. Even though the situation seemed very urgent now, they did not immediately panic and run for their lives. Don't panic, everyone. I'll ask the Lord immediately what to do. Lin Mengxin loudly comforted everyone. In fact, normally speaking, Lin Mengxin knows better than Li Xiaoluo what to do and how to save herself in this situation. But in Lin Mengxin's opinion, things have been abnormal since the end of the world, and the common sense she has learned is no longer useful. In this case, she should ask the Lord first. Lin Mengxin quickly contacted Li Xiaoluo using the walkie-talkie, and then explained the situation. In fact, She didn't need to say too much. Li Xiaoluo was upstairs and obviously knew what was happening. However, Li Xiaoluo's reply to Lin Mengxin was simple: don't do anything first. Their building is very safe. Lin Mengxin didn't say anything more. They all believed in their lord's words. At this time, it was upstairs at Li Xiaoluo's house. This sudden scene of darkness and earthquakes was indeed much scarier than the previous ice disasters and floods. However, Josiah Tong and Xiaomin, who were staying next to Li Xiaoluo, did not show a trace of fear on their faces, because Li Xiaoluo had already been vaccinated with them. They know that the darkness and the earthquake this time are just the foreplay of this disaster. In this disaster, many large and small meteorites will fall from the sky, and there will be different amounts of crystals in those meteorites. It's the kind of crystal that can awaken and upgrade superpowers. Then for this earthquake, there will be many earthquake sources around the world, and there will be large and small cracks in each epicenter. After 2 or 3 days, a steady stream of monsters will crawl out of those cracks, kill humans, and snatch the crystals from those meteorites. When those monsters appear, it will be a real disaster for human survivors. Of course, if the human survivors are strong enough and brave enough, they can also kill them and dig crystals from their brains. Li Xiaoluo doesn't know about other places, but Li Xiaoluo still knows about the building where he lives. Nothing will happen to this meteorite and earthquake, so now they don't have to do anything, just wait. Chapter 309: The gang of thugs who are thinking about Li Xiaoluo. After about an hour, the earth stopped shaking, and the frightened noise outside gradually disappeared, but the sky outside was still pitch black, and even though it was daytime, everyone still felt like it was night. Among the survivors outside, no one knows what happened or what is waiting for them. Maybe, like the first ice disaster and the second flood, they will face a new disaster, and some of them will die again. Fear, helplessness, unwillingness. This is a true portrayal of the hearts of many ordinary survivors at this time. Most of the people who can survive to this day have experienced a lot of hardships, or have done a lot of things that are worse than animals. In short, few of them are easy. It was just fine, but how could they have imagined that God would give them new tricks? This means we won't let them go until we kill them, right? Many survivors who have paid a price to survive until now are not willing to give in. They don't want to die yet. In the Wutong community where Li Xiaoluo lives, when the sky turns completely dark, Li Xiaoluo's house naturally lights up again, and then becomes the most dazzling presence in the entire community. Some survivors who were frightened by the sudden darkness and earthquake subconsciously look towards the only place with light. At this time, in the eyes of many people, in addition to the envy before, there is more greed. In fact, Building A, where Li Xiaoluo was in the past, and the power of Taoyuan leader, have basically been taboo in the entire community. In fact, since the apocalypse, whether it was an ice disaster or a flood, the other buildings in the entire Wutong community have been very unstable in order to survive. For supplies, and for power, survivors often fight to the death, but they all have a tacit understanding, and no one comes to Building A to provoke Li Xiaoluo, because the legend of Li Xiaoluo has been known to everyone in Wutong community for a long time. Even if some people have already become murderous thugs, they are still afraid of death and do not want to die. Moreover, Li Xiaoluo has always been very quiet and has no intention of expanding his territory and robbing the population and food, so many teams felt relieved and felt that Li Xiaoluo was just a paper tiger. They felt that although Li Xiaoluo had weapons in his hands, he could only be arrogant in Building A and did not dare to go wild on their territory. Slowly, everyone's fear of Li Xiaoluo became smaller, but now, this new disaster has suddenly occurred. Many people are afraid and filled with deep jealousy towards the legendary Li Xiaoluo. Why do they live in fear every day and don't have enough to eat? While Li Xiaoluo, who lives in the same community, can live so well, why can Li Xiaoluo's house still have lights on even though they are scared to death? Even if they live a miserable life, they are going to die. I don't think anyone can live so comfortably. At this time, in room 1805, Building E, at the edge of Wutong community, dozens of survivors were crowded in the room. Originally, everyone was afraid in the dark, but when they saw Li Xiaoluo's lights that were like fireflies in the night sky, many people in the room started talking. Boss, look! The lights in that naughty Li Xiaoluo's house in Building A are on again. Boss, I've had enough of that Li Xiaoluo. We have been living in dire straits these past few months, but that Li Xiaoluo has found dozens of women by himself. And he still has electricity at home every night. He is simply enjoying it. This is the end of the world. I think instead of worrying here now, we might as well go directly to that Li Xiaoluo to do something if we can succeed. then we will definitely be prosperous. That's right, boss. We don't know what kind of disaster is going to happen this time. We don't know if we can survive yet. We may die anyway, so what are we afraid of? Even if we die, we won't let that Xialuo have an easy time, boss. I heard that during the flood, there was a group of ruthless people in Building C, and they were all very vicious. There was also a group of ruthless people in Building D. It was said that they even used explosives. Come out, why don't we unite with them to get rid of that Xialuo? The group of people in the room belonged to the Black Wolf King. Their boss is called Brother Wolf. He is a man as fierce and cunning as the Wolf King. In fact, for the Taoyuan collar established by Xialuo, who among the gangs in the community would not be jealous, however, everyone likes to pick on the weak. Although Xialuo has not had any direct conflict with him, his reputation in this area is really great. It is said that Xialuo kills people just like drinking water, without blinking an eye. Moreover, Xialuo still has a lot of guns and ammunition in his hands, which makes thugs like them very fearful no matter how ruthless they are. The same goes for Brother Lang of the Black Wolf Gang. If possible, he would like to continue to be his local emperor in Building E, then occasionally bully the survivors who pass by, and life will be okay. But this sudden disaster obviously irritated everyone under him. If he gives in to Xialuo at this time, he may not be able to lead the team. More importantly, Brother Lang's brother said something right. Xialuo's building still has electricity, and Xialuo can still support so many women in Taoyuan. Xialuo's place is a treasure land and treasure house. As long as they can capture Xialuo's place, no matter what new disaster may occur this time, maybe they can survive. Therefore, Brother Lang is also moved. However, he still hesitated. In the darkness, Brother Lang looked at a man with sinister eyes. Dazuang, you used to know that Xialuo, and you also did things for Xialuo. Tell me, what should we do now? Xialuo, is there any hope of victory? That's right. The Dazuang Brother Lang asked about was Liu Dazuang, who left Building A with Tan Jingjing and some people to develop. Unfortunately, Liu Dazuang's development was not smooth. The main reason is that every building in the community actually has thugs. How can it be so easy for Liu Dazuang and others to seize other people's territory and food, unless Liu Dazuang and the others can completely defeat others? But among those who followed Liu Dazuang, except for Liu Dazuang himself, who was more brave, the others were actually just making up the numbers. The final result can be imagined. Liu Dazuang and the others had only been out for a few days. Not only did they not develop and grow, but they all became prisoners because of Tan Jingjing. If Brother Lang hadn't spared his life because he thought Liu Dazuang was a good fighter, Liu Dazuang might have died long ago. However, Liu Dazuang was actually living a very miserable life at this time, because his goddess Tan Jingjing has long since become Brother Lang's woman. It's a pity that he hasn't even touched Tan Jingjing's hand a few times. Chapter 310, Brother Wolf is still good at playing. Home in the darkness, a woman's gasping sound suddenly sounded. The men in the room suddenly felt like they were being tickled because this voice was familiar to them. It was the voice of Tan Jingjing, the most beautiful woman in their Black Wolf Gang. Their wolf brother's woman Tan Jingjing was sitting next to Brother Lang just now, and now she made such a sound. Equals sure enough, their brother Wolf still knows how to play. They were talking about business, but they didn't expect Brother Lang to be doing two things, taking advantage of the darkness to have fun. The men in the room did not expect that Tan Jingjing, who usually acted like a cold goddess, would be so bold. But at this moment, Liu Dazuang was the only one in the darkness who felt like his heart was being cut by a knife. The reason why Liu Dazuang left Xialuo in the first place was partly because of his own ambition, but the more reason was because of Tan Jingjing. He really likes Tan Jingjing. Every man has a goddess he has a crush on, and Tan Jingjing is Liu Dazuang's goddess. At that time, when Tan Jingjing called him Brother Dazuang and cared for him so much, Liu Dazuang was so happy. So in order to allow Tan Jingjing to live a good life, Liu Dazuang must strengthen his strength. It's a pity that Liu Dazuang overestimated his own strength after fighting a great victory with Xialuo. So after coming out, Liu Dazuang and the others became prisoners of the Black Wolf Gang. In order to survive, they had to continue to endure the humiliation and bear the burden. Even though Tan Jingjing later became Brother Lang's woman, Liu Dazuang actually didn't blame Tan Jingjing, because sometimes when he looked at Tan Jingjing, he could see the grievance and helplessness in Tan Jingjing's eyes, as well as her concern for him. Therefore, Liu Dazuang always felt that he was too useless and could not protect Tan Jingjing, so she had to beg Brother Lang for mercy. Every time Tan Jingjing smiles in front of Brother Lang, She is just forcing a smile. In fact, Jingjing must still care about him the most, but Tan Jingjing's voice just now struck Liu Dazhuang like a blow to the head, as if it woke him up, maybe in Tan Jingjing's heart. She never really liked or cared about him at all. When he was with Li Xiaoluo, Liu Dazhuang was the captain, so Tan Jingjing looked at him differently. After he came out, Liu Dazhuang could only live under someone else's care and be his little brother. So she naturally found a better one, and that brother Wolf said that he valued him very much, but at that time he clearly knew about his relationship with Tan Jingjing, but he still occupied Tan Jingjing. All of this made Liu Dazhuang so angry that he wanted to kill them immediately, but Liu Dazhuang knew that if he dared to take action, the people in this room would definitely chop him into pieces. But at this moment, Liu Dazhuang felt that he had had enough. As someone said just now, there is a new disaster this time. There will definitely be new dangers and many people may die again. As for who will die, no one can say. Rather than die inexplicably and with regrets in his heart, Liu Dazhuang decided to find a way to trick Brother Lang and vent his anger. Therefore, Liu Dazhuang calmed down in the darkness, and then made his tone normal. Brother Lang, if you ask about Li Xiaoluo's situation, you are really asking the right person when you ask me. After all, I was Li Xiaoluo's captain when we were in Building A. Actually, that Li Xiaoluo, his skills are not very good. But he got some guns and ammunition from nowhere, and there are quite a lot of them, so he can be the king in Building A. However, others don't know. In fact, only a few of our captains under Li Xiaoluo know that the ammunition in Li Xiaoluo's hands was consumed a lot when he cleaned Building A last time. His ammunition reserve has basically reached the bottom. That's why Li Xiaoluo arranged for us to live downstairs to keep him safe. This is also the reason why Li Xiaoluo has a gun in his hand, but he never dared to come out to grab the territory. In the darkness, Brother Lang stopped moving on a protruding part of Tan Jingjing's body. He subconsciously looked at Liu Dazhuang. Dazhuang, are you telling the truth? So what you mean is that Li Xiaoluo is just a paper tiger? Can we defeat him and take everything away from Li Xiaoluo? Although Brother Lang looked at Liu Dazhuang in the darkness, he naturally could not clearly see the expression on Liu Dazhuang's face. Liu Dazhuang deliberately hesitated for a moment before speaking out. Brother Lang, if we really want to attack Li Xiaoluo, we will naturally win. But some brothers will definitely die. Hearing what Liu Dazhuang said, Brother Lang immediately believed that Liu Dazhuang was telling the truth. Then Brother Lang said again, Dazhuang, do you think we should join forces with other buildings to deal with Li Xiaoluo? Liu Dazhuang thought for a while and then said, Brother Lang, this ultimately depends on your decision. I'm just telling you what I think. Brother Lang said, okay, you say it. Liu Dazhuang said, actually, I think there are advantages and disadvantages to uniting forces from other buildings. The good thing is that if we unite, we will definitely be stronger and can defeat Li Xiaoluo more quickly. In addition, when dealing with Li Xiaoluo, all the losses will not be our brothers from the Black Wolf Gang. Otherwise, if our Black Wolf Gang alone go deal with Li Xiaoluo, if we lose too much strength, we may be coveted by other forces by then. As for the disadvantage, naturally if we join forces with other forces, then after wiping out Li Xiaoluo, the benefits will naturally be shared by everyone. Food and supplies are easy to share, but who will own the territory in Building A? After listening to Liu Dazhuang's words, Brother Lang laughed in the dark. Haha, Dazhuang, your analysis is very good. When the time comes to win over Li Xiaoluo, I will remember your first achievement. Then you can tell me anything you want. Thank you, Brother Lang. Liu Dazhuang said gratefully. Finally, Brother Lang decided to send people to contact the forces in other buildings. He wants to unite everyone and kill Li Xiaoluo together. Otherwise, if he is asked to lead people to find trouble for Li Xiaoluo by himself, Brother Lang will always feel unsure of himself. As for how to distribute the benefits after victory, it depends on everyone's ability. Now that the decision has been made, Brother Lang is a straightforward and decisive person. Even though it was still dark outside, he directly asked his men to make a few torches, and then sent envoys to the two buildings next door. If everything goes well with the alliance, they will go to Li Xiaoluo in the dark, and then kill Li Xiaoluo by surprise. In fact, the current darkness is actually beneficial to them, because in the darkness, even if Li Xiaoluo has a gun, it will be of little use. Their chances of winning are even greater. But Brother Lang didn't know at all that Liu Dazhuang's statement that Li Xiaoluo didn't have much ammunition was all lie to him. Moreover, Liu Dazhuang didn't say anything about Li Xiaoluo's safe house, so even if Li Xiaoluo ran out of ammunition, They couldn't do anything to Li Xiaoluo as Huang just wants the entire Black Wolf gang to die. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 311 Footsteps. The darkness lasted for more than 2 hours. Just when all the survivors were suppressing fear, the sky suddenly returned to a sunny and cloudless state, and all the survivors also felt brighter. If the survivors now have tools to tell time, they will find that the time when the sky returns to light is exactly 12 noon. Tao Yuan led this side. Lin Mengxin saw that the sky outside had returned to normal, and immediately led all the female soldiers downstairs. This is what Lord Li Xiaoluo told her long ago. As long as the weather outside returns to normal, it will be time for them to go out to perform their mission. But Lin Mengxin didn't know that a large group of uninvited guests had arrived in the building where they were located. There were at least 50 or 60 people in this group of uninvited guests, and each of them was holding weapons such as bows and arrows, knives and sticks, axes, etc., and they all had fierce looks on their faces. This group of people were the thugs from several other buildings in the Wutuangyun community where Li Xiaoluo lived, and they were all united by Brother Lang from the Black Wolf gang. Originally, they were planning to take advantage of the darkness and sneak up on Li Xiaoluo, catching Li Xiaoluo off guard. In fact, I have to say that Brother Wolf from the Black Wolf gang is very efficient in doing things and is also very decisive. Not only did he unite several forces in the shortest time, but then formed an alliance. What's more, if you do it immediately. But when they arrived in the darkest building A where Li Xiaoluo was located, they discovered that there was an aluminum alloy door on the stairs on the 6th floor, and it was also locked. Of course, such a gate will certainly not stop them from destroying the Li Alliance. However, in order not to make too much noise, Brother Lang and the others did spend a little time on this door. As a result, when Brother Lang and the others opened the door lock, the dark sky suddenly returned to normal, and the light returned to the outside. Originally, their group wanted to catch Li Xiaoluo off guard while it was dark. However, this sudden situation caught them by surprise. They say it's a dark and windy night, and it's a murderous night. It's already dawn. How can they carry out a sneak attack? Suddenly, the leader of another force looked at Brother Lang and said with a gloomy expression, "Old Wolf, what do you think we should do now? Now that the sky's suddenly bright again, we still have to go upstairs to clean up Li Xiaoluo." The person who spoke was a tall man who was not very old. He and his men were not actually the aborigines of this community. They all came to this community from other places during the flood period, and then found a building in this community as a base and established a firm foothold. In fact, this is the reason why Li Xiaoluo did not take action to clean up the thugs in Wutuangyun community before, because during the flood, survivors or a team of thugs would appear out of nowhere. At that time, they were guarding too much territory, but they were causing trouble for themselves. As for the tall men who came to Wutuangyun community later, they actually didn't know much about Li Xiaoluo, and they didn't have much respect for him. He just heard that Li Xiaoluo had a gun in his hand, but he also had a lot of food, so everyone was fearful at that time. And then suddenly they heard that Li Xiaoluo didn't have much ammunition in his hand, and he was taking advantage of the darkness to sneak attack on Li Xiaoluo. They immediately became interested, but now that the dark environment is gone, they have to face Li Xiaoluo's gun directly, and the tall man suddenly feels a little scared. Brother Lang looked at the tall man and said in a deep voice, "Brother Ming, we have come here with such a big fanfare, and now you give in and go back? It's a bit unreasonable, right? Moreover, there are so many of us and so many weapons. It is said that Li Xiaoluo's men don't have a single man, so we are afraid of him with a hammer? Even if Li Xiaoluo has a gun, how many people can he kill at one time? In this apocalyptic world, everyone has their heads tied to their belts, and accidents may happen at any time. Therefore, wealth is in danger. As long as we rob that Li Xiaoluo of his food and women, we will be dead in the future. You can also be happy for a while before dying." When Brother Lang said this, the thugs belonging to the Black Wolf gang immediately looked proud. Their boss was brave enough. It was definitely right to follow such a boss. After all, some of the thugs who have survived to this day are basically extremely vicious people. Because only those who are bold and fierce enough can become a bully rather than being bullied by others. The tall man was also the boss after all, so it was naturally impossible for him to embarrass himself in front of Brother Lang. He bit the bullet and said, Old wolf, you are looking down on me. Why am I so cowardly? I'm just not very familiar with that Xialuo, and it seems like a sneak attack on him won't work now, so I'm asking for your opinion. Since you said you still want to FK that Xialuo, then let's just go FK him together, haha. Okay, let's continue going upstairs. Brothers, beauties and food are waiting for us, under the pie painted by Brother Lang. All the thugs suddenly became in high spirits, of course. The main reason is that the sudden vision that happened today makes them still scared, and they all urgently need to vent their emotions. So, just as a group of them were preparing to continue going upstairs, tread, 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 at this moment, there was a sudden sound of footsteps upstairs, and a group of them heard it. Brother Wolf, what's going on? Brother Lang, is there someone there? Have we been discovered? Brother Wolf, do we want to escape? At this moment, some of the thugs who were still in high morale suddenly looked panicked. After all, if they are allowed to sneak attack others, they will definitely have an advantage and their morale will be much higher. But now if they are discovered by others, and then others take the initiative to deal with them, then they must be afraid. Brother Wolf, brothers, don't panic. At this time, Liu Dazhuang suddenly stood up and said, brothers, we came in while it was dark, so it is impossible for Li Xiaoluo and his men to discover us. There are people coming downstairs now. It must be Li Xiaoluo's men who saw the sky light up and arranged for people to go downstairs to patrol. This is a good thing for us. It just allows us to ambush them, and the people here are except Li Xiaoluo. They are all women. We don't have to be afraid at all. Brother Lang thought for a while and felt that there was nothing wrong with what Liu Dazhuang said. In this apocalyptic world, there is no such thing as surveillance. They came here in the dark before, so they couldn't be discovered so quickly, right? Therefore, the footsteps upstairs may indeed be the people from Taoyuan leader who came down to patrol. Okay, brothers, everyone go and hide in the corridor on the 8th floor. As long as the people upstairs come down the stairs on the 8th floor, we will suddenly rush out behind them. Brother Lang didn't hesitate and quickly arranged for everyone to hide. Chapter 312. What are the women in Taoyuan leader doing? In Brother Lang's view, as long as they were not discovered by Li Xiaoluo from Taoyuan and brought someone to deal with them, then they don't have to be afraid. After all, most of them had only heard about the strength of Taoyuan leader in the past. They heard that Taoyuan leader was very powerful. Taoyuan leader had food, women, guns and ammunition. Now, they heard that the Taoyuan territory is just a paper tiger. The Taoyuan territory's ammunition has been almost exhausted for a long time. It is difficult to defend, let alone expand outside. That's why everyone wants to get a piece of the pie. But in fact, no one has ever seen the true situation of this Taoyuan territory. So if Li Xiaoluo from Taoyuan really discovered their invasion this time, and then brought his men to deal with them, then they must be afraid, and maybe running away is the best choice, because since Li Xiaoluo dares to take the initiative to fight, he must have someone to rely on, which just shows that Li Xiaoluo still has strong strength. They were definitely right to run away, but if it is just a normal patrol in Taoyuan, it is not that they have been discovered and they are coming to deal with them. It means that the strength of Taoyuan leader Li Xiaoluo is not strong, at least it is a question mark. Moreover, if the people coming down from upstairs did not notice them, then after they hide, they can indeed make a sneak attack, so their advantage will be even greater, because if the people from Taoyuan leader were just patrolling, they would definitely not check every floor carefully, and basically they would not be discovered. Anyway, under Liu Dazhuang's analysis, Brother Lang and the leaders of several other forces agreed with his analysis, and then immediately hid on the 8th floor before the people upstairs came down. As for why it is on the 8th floor, it is because the door lock on the 6th floor has been destroyed by them. If they hid on the 6th floor, it would be of little significance. As long as the people from Taoyuan leader go down to the 6th floor, they will immediately know that someone has entered their territory. In fact, Liu Dazhuang's analysis this time was serious and he did not fool Brother Lang and the others, because Liu Dazhuang knows that Li Xiaoluo usually stays at his home, so the only ones who come out to patrol must be the women under Li Xiaoluo. In Liu Dazhuang's view, those women do not pose much of a threat, and they can definitely win. But what Liu Dazhuang wants is for Brother Lang and the others to win, because as long as they kill or capture Li Xiaoluo's people, the feud between Li Xiaoluo and Brother Lang will be completely settled. Even if Li Xiaoluo doesn't want to take the initiative to cause trouble, he might be forced to take action. Liu Dazhuang still trusts Li Xiaoluo. He believes that with Li Xiaoluo's strength, He will definitely be able to defeat Brother Lang and the others, just like when Li Xiaoluo led him to clean up all the thugs in Building A. Liu Dazhuang wants everyone in the Black Wolf gang to die. However, what Liu Dazhuang didn't know was that after the light returned from the sky and Lin Mengxin took the female soldiers downstairs, Li Xiaoluo had already discovered Liu Dazhuang and his group through the drone. However, Li Xiaoluo did not inform Lin Mengxin and the others, because guarding the safety of Taoyuan territory is originally Lin Mengxin's duty. Moreover, they have to go out to perform tasks soon. When they go outside, they may encounter a sneak attack by a team of thugs at any time. When the time comes, who will remind them all the time, now is the time. This group of thugs suddenly appeared. Let them give these female soldiers some practice. Look at the results of their training over the past few months. Of course, the Taoyuan collar has been relatively stable in the past few months. Let's see if they let down their guard. At this time, Lin Mengxin was leading the female soldiers downstairs in an orderly manner. Just as Lin Mengxin and her team arrived at the 9th floor, they were about to go to the 8th floor. Suddenly, Lin Mengxin raised her right hand. Suddenly, the entire female soldier team stopped. Then, all the female soldiers were quiet and did not speak, but the guns in their hands were already tightly held in their hands. Several team captains who were following Lin Mengxin immediately looked at Lin Mengxin, but Lin Mengxin didn't speak. She just pointed to the ground on the 8th floor downstairs. Several female captains looked towards the ground and quickly discovered the clues. Because there were many footprints with mud marks on the ground, there is a situation. You know, the previous flood submerged the 8th floor for a month, and the water level had just receded not long ago, and they had not been downstairs yet. Why are there footprints? Anyway, it must not be their footprints. Then, it can only be the footprints of the intruder. In fact, if it is normal, even if there are many people walking in the corridor, they will basically not leave any footprints, but the ground outside is wet now. If someone walks in from the outside, even if they wipe the mud off their shoes, there will still be some mud marks on the soles, and when they walk on the stairs, they will naturally leave some mud marks, especially when there are many people. Meng Jiajia immediately made a few gestures to Lin Mengxin, which probably meant, "Captain, what should we do now?" Lin Mengxin observed carefully and found that the footprints seemed to end on the 8th floor. There were no traces on the stairs on the 9th floor. Lin Mengxin pointed at a squad leader beside her. She was the captain of the 5th squad, and she was promoted relatively late. Lin Mengxin pointed at the people under her command, then pointed upstairs, and then made a few more gestures. The general idea is to ask her to take the 5th team to search the floors above the 9th floor to see if there are any enemies upstairs. Although Lin Mengxin most likely felt that the invading enemies had not yet had time to reach the 9th floor, she still had to be careful. Then, Lin Mengxin used gestures to arrange combat missions for the captains of several other teams. After all the squad leaders responded with a received gesture, Lin Mengxin waved her hand and started taking action. At this time, the many thugs hiding in the corridor on the 8th floor were all a little confused. There were about 50 people in Lin Mengxin's group, so the sound of footsteps was still very obvious. All the thugs could hear Lin Mengxin and the others walking to the 9th floor. They were already prepared, but as soon as Lin Mengxin and the others walked down the 8th floor, they rushed out. At that time, they will attack by surprise, and they will have the advantage of being upstairs. How to lose? But what's going on now? Why did the footsteps stop? Even if the footsteps stopped, there was no voice. It was so quiet. What are the women in Taoyuan collar doing? Originally, all the thugs had weapons in their hands and were ready to fight, but they were suddenly interrupted. Chapter 313 Baby. But just when Brother Lang and the others were getting excited, they heard footsteps in the stairwell outside, and it seemed that they were starting to move again. Suddenly, the thugs hiding in the corridor on the 8th floor breathed a sigh of relief again. It seems to be a false alarm. Okay. All the thugs smiled in advance when they heard the footsteps outside that had reached the 8th floor. As long as they wait for those footsteps to go downstairs, they can rush out. However, when a group of female soldiers arrived on the 8th floor, the two female soldiers at the front suddenly walked quickly to the safety door of the stairwell, and then suddenly opened the door. Behind the two female soldiers responsible for pushing the door open were several fully armed female soldiers. The moment the safety door of the stairwell was opened, they fired directly inside with their automatic rifles. At this time, in the corridor on the 8th floor, dozens of men were looking excited. They are imagining that they will vent their fearful emotions on the woman from Taoyuan Ling later. However, they never imagined that they were facing a sudden barrage of bullets. How did this script become like this? How did the people in Taoyuan discover them? Moreover, why is the firepower of Taoyuan territory so powerful? Didn't it mean that only their owner, Li Xiaoluo, had a gun and didn't have much ammunition? Sure enough, hearsay and false news can kill people. Don't shoot, we surrender. Don't kill me, I'm just a little guy, I didn't ask to come here, boss. Li Xiaoluo, we surrender, we are willing to negotiate. However, what awaits them all are cold bullets. Lin Mengxin asked the female soldiers to roughly clean up the battlefield, and all the thugs who were not dead were shot. As for the corpses of all the thugs, people from the logistics department will naturally be responsible for handling them. Of course, the treatment method for Taoyuan is usually cremation, but there is no other use. Then Lin Mengxin and the others continued downstairs, and soon arrived at the community downstairs. At this time, although the ground in the entire community is wet, there is no water anymore, and just as Lin Mengxin and the others left the building, the next second, Li Xiaoluo appeared in front of them. After all, Li Xiaoluo's teleportation ability is much easier than walking up dozens of floors of stairs. Moreover, Li Xiaoluo had been paying attention to Lin Mengxin and the others just now, and was quite satisfied with their performance just now. Lord, seeing Li Xiaoluo appear, all the female soldiers immediately said hello to Li Xiaoluo. Li Xiaoluo nodded, and then with a thought, a dozen cars suddenly appeared in the open space of the community. After the flood is over, any vehicles outside will be ownerless, but now, it can be said that there is no intact car out there. After all the cars outside have been soaked in water for a month, and no matter how awesome the car is, it will be scrapped. Okay, hurry up and go on your mission. Li Xiaoluo gave an order to Lin Mengxin. Lin Mengxin saluted Li Xiaoluo with a military salute, and then quickly got into the car with all the female soldiers. They already knew the mission, and Li Xiaoluo had already told them some details. All they had to do was follow Li Xiaoluo's orders. Lin Mengxin and the others drove about 10 cars out of the community quickly, and then they dispersed and drove in 4 different directions. After Lin Mengxin and the others left, Li Xiaoluo, Josiah Tong and the others made an explanation, and then teleported to Longting Villa. In fact, the weapons and vehicles here are already made, and the vehicles are parked directly in the garage of the villa. There is no need for Charlotte Li to take them out from the system space, so according to Li Xiaoluo's explanation, the female soldiers here have already driven out in vehicles to perform missions. As for Shen Miao and the others, they are all staying in the villa and not going anywhere. The work of Taoyuan leader will be suspended in the past few days. The reason why Li Xiaoluo came here in a hurry is because he knew that there was a particularly precious treasure in the Longting Villa area in this meteorite rain. Of course, it is true that the treasure Li Xiaoluo said is precious, but it is not anything too special, because it is just a large meteorite. In fact, these are some things that Li Xiaoluo heard about in his previous life. Although Li Xiaoluo was not a superpower, he had actually seen a lot of meteorites with his own eyes. So he naturally knew the situation of meteorites. After all, when it comes to meteorites, survivors might just think of them as rocks falling from the sky at first. If they were before the end, they might be able to sell them for a lot of money, but after the end of the world, at the beginning, people were actually not very interested in them, and only those who were curious would study them. But later, when the secret of the crystals and meteorites spread, they were no longer a secret among human survivors. All survivors know that there are good things in meteorites. If they can find one, even if they don't have supernatural talents and can't use it themselves, they can still exchange it for incredible wealth. Then, among the large number of meteorites falling from the sky this time, they are basically the size of a small car, and there will be a certain number of crystals inside. However, it is said that extra large meteorites will appear in some cities, which are 10 times larger than normal meteorites, and the crystals inside will be even more precious. However, Li Xiaoluo heard from the gossip in his previous life that the probability of such extra-large meteorites appearing is very small. Sometimes one may appear in one city, but sometimes there may be several cities without even hearing about it. Of course, it is also possible that the wealth is not revealed. After some people or forces discovered this large meteorite, they secretly digested it and then blocked the news. But no matter what, Li Xiaoluo knew that large meteorites were very precious. Moreover, in the previous life, there happened to be a large meteorite here in the Longting Villa area. This is also one of the reasons why Li Xiaoluo chose Longting Villa as the headquarters of his Taoyuan leader in this life. In his previous life, those meteorites were just a talking point for Li Xiaoluo. Even if they were found by Li Xiaoluo, They could only be used in exchange for some food, but in this life, they are the guarantee for the strength of Li Xiaoluo's Taoyuan territory. So since he knew that a large meteorite would appear in the Longding Villa area, Li Xiaoluo naturally wanted to occupy this place early and not give anyone a chance. Li Xiaoluo came here in a hurry, so naturally he came to receive the goods. Although since the flood came in the Longding Villa area, except for Li Xiaoluo's area, there are no survivors anywhere else. The flood has just ended now, so there should be no survivors coming for the time being, but Li Xiaoluo still wants to find the large meteorite immediately. After all, nothing is absolute, so it is better to get it into his own pocket first to be safe. Li Xiaoluo flew the drone and started looking for it in the Longding Villa area, but it took basically no time, and Li Xiaoluo quickly discovered the large meteorite because it is really too big. Chapter 314 Golden Egg. The huge meteorite is more than 10 meters high, almost 3 stories high, almost as high as the villas in Longding Villa district, and strangely enough, these meteorites all fell from high altitudes, but they did not make a big crater on the ground. Almost all the meteorites that Li Xiaoluo had seen in his previous life seemed to have been placed directly on the ground. The surrounding areas of the meteorites no damage was done. It is simply not in line with scientific principles. However, when the meteorites fell, the sky was dark, so no one could see the trajectory of the falling meteorites naturally. No one can explain such strange things. Even in their previous lives, many survivors were very fearful of these meteorites at first, thinking that what fell from the sky must be some new disaster or an ominous omen. It's like a big hand is controlling it. Therefore, the secrets in the meteorites in the past life were actually discovered relatively late by the human survivors, and the best opportunities in the previous few days were missed. In fact, this is a very big loss for human survivors in this life. Li Xiaoluo cannot control other survivors, but everyone in his Taoyuan leadership must work hard to find meteorites for him. After discovering the large meteorite, Li Xiaoluo teleported directly, and then appeared in front of the large meteorite. After all, the large meteorite is not far from Longding Villa number 1, and is within the range of Li Charlotte's teleportation ability. Then Li Xiaoluo took a large meteorite into the system space and teleported back to Villa number 1. In Shen Miaomiao's view, Li Xiaoluo just disappeared for a moment and then appeared again immediately, but they didn't know that when Li Xiaoluo disappeared just now, he got a good thing. Li Xiaoluo took Shen Miaomiao and the others to the back of the garden of the villa, and with a thought, the large meteorite appeared in the open space. Li Xiaoluo's doing this naturally made Shen Miaomiao and the others more knowledgeable this way. If they go out in the future, they won't be unfamiliar with meteorites. Brother-in-law, is this the meteorite you're talking about? It's so big. Shen Yanyan looked up at the huge stone that suddenly appeared, her face full of curiosity. Not only Shen Yanyan, but also Shen Miaomiao and Qin Yumi looked at the meteorite in surprise. After all, they naturally know more inside information than the people below. Even the female soldiers went out to look for meteorites according to Li Xiaoluo's order, but the female soldiers actually only knew how to identify meteorites, what to do after discovering meteorites, and then they only knew that the things inside the meteorites were very important to Taoyuan leader. But all the female soldiers who go out to look for meteorites don't actually know the true function of meteorites. Firstly, their status is not high, and secondly, there are no supernatural talents among them, so they cannot use the crystals in the meteorite at all. So Li Xiaoluo didn't tell them too much inside information for the time being. After a while, they will naturally know. Li Xiaoluo said to the girls, "This is actually a special meteorite. Ordinary meteorites are not like this, special." When the girls heard Li Xiaoluo say this, they immediately became more curious. Everyone gathered around the meteorite and looked at it carefully, as if they wanted to see what was special about it. In fact, Li Xiaoluo had only heard in his previous life that this kind of large meteorite was special, but he actually didn't know what was different about it. This gave Li Xiaoluo an idea. He also wanted to know the difference between this large meteorite and ordinary meteorites, and if you want to know the difference, it's actually very simple in Li Xiaoluo's opinion. Li Xiaoluo asked Shen Miaomiao to contact the female soldiers who had gone out to perform the mission. No matter which female soldier found the meteorite first, they should not smash it on the spot, and then directly transport the entire meteorite back. In this way, with ordinary meteorites for comparison, we can naturally clearly know what is different about large meteorites. Moreover, ordinary meteorites are only over 1 meter tall, and their weight is much lighter than normal stones. As long as any female soldier team finds them, They are fully capable of transporting them back intact. Not long after Shen Miaomiao conveyed Li Xiaoluo's order, there was a reply from Wang Shanshan. Their second team happened to find a meteorite and was about to smash it. Now they will transport the meteorite back according to the order. 10 minutes later, Wang Shanshan led her team in a car to escort the meteorite to Villa Number 1. After removing the meteorite from the car, Wang Shanshan and the others drove away again. When Shen Miaomiao and the others looked at the meteorite sent back by Wang Shanshan, they suddenly felt it was so small. After all, after seeing the big one, and then looking at the small one, you will feel that it is quite small. If they saw this small meteorite first, they would definitely not think it was small. After all, no one would think a stone 1 or 2 meters high would think it was small, right? But all the women felt that when Li Xiaoluo said they were different, he definitely didn't mean that they were different in size, right? Looking at the 2 meteorites, one large and one small, Li Xiaoluo was quite curious, so he immediately gave the answer. I saw a sledgehammer suddenly appearing in Li Xiaoluo's hand, and then facing the small meteorite, Li Xiaoluo swung the sledgehammer and smashed it down hard. A loud bang, a scene that shocked the girls appeared. The appearance of this meteorite looked like a stone, but in fact there was something else going on inside. Under Li Xiaoluo's huge power, he directly smashed a meteorite into a huge crack. Then the girls discovered that the inside of the meteorite was not solid, but actually contained some golden sand grains. Li Xiaoluo actually knew this result a long time ago, so he was not surprised at all. Li Xiaoluo continued to swing the sledgehammer, and then hit it several times, completely smashing the meteorite. Then, a golden oval object about the size of a basketball appeared in everyone's sight. This thing looks like a large egg, or the inner elixir of a meteorite. It's golden and very beautiful. In previous lives, survivors like to call it the golden egg. That's it. It was the first time for Shen Miaomiao and the others to see such a magical thing. There were actually golden eggs inside the meteorite. Could it be that the crystal Li Xiaoluo was talking about was this golden egg? Brother-in-law, it's such a big egg, and it's golden. Can I touch it? Shen Yanyan looked at the golden egg like a curious baby. With a look of eagerness on her face, Li Xiaoluo waved to her. Then I'll give you a task. You bring it over and give it to me. Yes. Shen Yanyan cheered, then ran over and carefully picked up the golden egg with both hands. Fortunately, it is much lighter than Shen Yanyan expected. Then Shen Yanyan held the golden egg, walked carefully to Li Xiaoluo, and handed it to Li Xiaoluo. Li Xiaoluo took out a piece of white cloth from the system space and spread it on the ground, then took the golden egg handed over by Shen Yanyan and placed it on the white cloth. Then, Li Xiaoluo took out a small hammer from the system space. In the astonished eyes of all the girls, Li Xiaoluo smashed the golden egg with a hammer. Chapter 315. The system is finally about to rise. Seeing Li Xiaoluo smash the golden egg directly, Shen Miaomiao and the others realized that they had thought wrong. This golden egg was not a crystal at all. However, there is still a pity on the faces of the girls. Women are not willing to destroy beautiful things. That golden egg is actually quite pretty. However, the girls are also very curious. They don't know if the egg liquid will flow out after this golden egg is broken open. However, when the golden egg was smashed open, although the expected egg liquid did not flow out, in addition to golden sand grains, there were also some white crystal stones that appeared in front of everyone. That kind of crystal is about the size of the fingernail of your little finger. Crystal clear, like the most beautiful treasure in the world. Especially the women, are looking at these sparkling crystals with gleaming eyes. These crystals are simply more beautiful than the diamonds before the apocalypse. Pre-apocalyptic diamonds are so expensive, isn't it because women like them? In addition to being beautiful, if this kind of crystal were placed before the end of the world, it would definitely be priceless. But soon all the girls realized that it was already the end, and even the most valuable gems were worthless. And seeing these crystals, unlike Li Xiaoluo, they also knew that they must be the crystals Li Xiaoluo mentioned before. At this time, the moment these crystals appeared, the sound of the system came to Li Xiaoluo's ears. Ding. The system prompts. 88. Level 1. Crystals have been detected, which can be exchanged for 8,800 energy points. Can the host exchange them all? Good. Guy, when he heard this voice, even Li Xiaoluo felt like tears filled his eyes. This system of mine is finally going to be strong. Finally, I no longer have to worry about soy sauce because I have no energy points. And for Li Xiaoluo, this is also great news. With energy points, there are so many things he can do. In addition, Li Xiaoluo actually learned a lot of news from the system prompts. For example, there are a total of 88 crystals in this golden egg, which is actually a good number. According to the information that Xialuo knew in his previous life, every meteorite contains a golden egg. But how many crystals can be found in each golden egg actually depends on luck. It is said that most golden eggs contain about 60 crystals, but for some very lucky people, 80 or 90 crystals can be found in one golden egg. But the maximum number will not exceed 100, and there are also people who are particularly unlucky, and 4 or 5 crystals are revealed in one golden egg, which is simply terrible. So this time Xialuo opened the golden egg and found 88 crystals. Xialuo felt that he was worthy of the protagonist's halo, and he was lucky. Then, Xialuo can also get a message from the system prompts, that is, these crystals are all first-level crystals, so there must be higher-level crystals. However, the information available about Xialuo's previous life was limited, and he died very early, so he had never seen a second-level crystal at all, let alone a higher-level crystal. But in this life, Xialuo is confident that as long as there are more advanced crystals, he will definitely be able to get them. Finally, we can know from the system prompts that a first-level crystal can be exchanged for 100 energy points in the system. Xialuo felt that this exchange ratio was quite acceptable after all. This meteorite can give Xialuo 8,800 energy points. This Hansun card that Xialuo had been thinking about before was priced at 1,000 energy points, and at least 8 of them could be purchased for Xialuo. It's very good, but Xialuo didn't know that there would be many places where he would need to spend energy points later. At that time, he must have wanted to increase the exchange ratio 10 times or 100 times. Xialuo ignored the system's redemption prompt for the time being. After all, there is a large meteorite. Xialuo is even more itchy now, wondering how many crystals can be extracted from it. So Xialuo first put all 88 crystals into the system space, then picked up the sledgehammer used to smash meteorites, and came to the large meteorite. Wielding a sledgehammer, Xialuo hit it hard. A loud bang. A burst of sparks flew. However, this large meteorite was not smashed. According to Xialuo's previous experience of smashing the small meteorite, the thickness of the real stone shell of the meteorite is actually only about 10 centimeters. Not to mention a strong man like Xialuo, even ordinary people can smash it with a little force with a hammer. For example, the many female soldiers sent out by Xialuo also smashed a meteorite after discovering it, and then brought back the golden egg inside. Otherwise, the meteorites are so big that even if the female soldiers drove there, they wouldn't be able to transport many meteorites back, especially for female soldiers who were sent to other cities. It would be even more troublesome if they had to transport the entire meteorite back, but if the meteorite can't be smashed open, it will be just as troublesome. But Xialuo felt that small meteorites should be able to be smashed open normally. It's just that this large meteorite is a bit special, so the female soldiers sent out don't have to worry too much that they will return without success. Looking at the large meteorite in front of him, Xialuo still didn't believe it. And then he picked up the sledgehammer and smashed it a few more times. However, there is still no way to break through its defense. Brother Xialuo, how about we take turns smashing it? Shen Mao saw Xialuo's depressed expression from the side, so she walked up and said softly. After looking at Shen Mao and the other women who were eager to try, Xialuo shook his head. If it was a small meteorite, Xialuo could give it to them, but Xialuo couldn't smash this large meteorite with all his strength. You must know that men are inherently stronger than women, and Xialuo's body has been strengthened and has long been beyond the scope of ordinary people. Even he can't smash it open, so letting Shen Mao and the others take turns smashing it is just a waste of time. After thinking about it, Xialuo decided to use a different method. After all, the development of human civilization mainly relies on tools, so Xialuo found a high-power electric drill and drilled into the meteorite. Amidst the buzzing sound of the drill bit slowly entered the interior of the meteorite. Haha, luckily it's not really a tortoise shell. Then his hand felt that the meteorite shell had been drilled through, so Xialuo pulled out the drill bit. Then Xialuo took a look and found that the meteorite shell of this large meteorite was at least about 50 centimeters. No wonder Xialuo couldn't break it open even with his strength, but it doesn't matter. With the help of borrowed tools, Xialuo first opened a gap, and then used a sledgehammer to quickly break open the meteorite. When the meteorite was smashed open, the woman next to him didn't have much reaction, but it was Xialuo's turn to be shocked. Chapter 316 More Valuable Secondary Crystals. It turned out that when the meteorite was smashed open, You could see that there were several golden eggs inside this large meteorite. In the eyes of Shen Miao and those women, the shape and color of the golden eggs in the large meteorite are actually similar to the golden eggs in the previous small meteorite. It's just that it's much bigger. The golden egg inside the small meteorite was almost the size of a basketball, but each of the golden eggs in this large meteorite is almost several times the size. But in Li Xiaoluo's eyes, what actually surprised him was not that the golden egg inside this large meteorite was particularly big. To his surprise, there were several golden eggs inside. The news he heard in his previous life seemed that there was only one golden egg in every meteorite. This is beyond the scope of his cognition, but soon, Li Xiaoluo didn't think much about it. He had never seen such a large meteorite in his previous life. And the news he heard were actually just hearsay because people who know the news about the large meteorite seem to be either banned or dead. Therefore, when some situations occurred that were beyond Li Xiaoluo's cognition, Li Xiaoluo felt that there was nothing to make a fuss about, and this situation is a great thing for Li Xiaoluo. Anyway, there are more or less crystals inside each golden egg. The more golden eggs there are in the meteorite, the more crystals he will get. This is a crystal. It's much more exciting than the feeling of making money before the end. Just when Li Xiaoluo was stunned, Shen Yanai looked at those big golden eggs, stuck out her pink tongue and looked at Li Xiaoluo. Brother-in-law, do you want to break open these golden eggs? Can I break one too? Li Xiaoluo was in a good mood and smiled. Okay, then you can try your luck by picking one. See how many crystals you can get out. If you get the most crystals out, I will reward you well. It's going to be smashed anyway, and to Li Xiaoluo, it doesn't matter whoever smashes it. Letting Shen Yanai smash the golden eggs not only saves Li Xiaoluo's energy, but also if her sister-in-law is more lucky than herself and gets more crystals, then it will be even better. After receiving Li Xiaoluo's approval and possibly a reward, Shen Yanai was naturally very excited. Then Shen Yanai called Zhao Xiaolu, and the two young and beautiful girls ran to the golden eggs. The two murmured for a few words before choosing a golden egg, and then together they lifted the golden egg and placed it on the white cloth. Shen Yanai also bowed to the golden egg. The little girl looked quite ritualistic. After the prayers were finished, Shen Yanai picked up the small hammer on the side, then swung the small hammer and smashed the golden egg. The golden egg inside this large meteorite was not as hard as the meteorite shell. Shen Miao smashed a big hole in one go, and then Shen Yanai smashed it a few more times, completely breaking it open. Suddenly, the golden sand and crystals inside also appeared in front of everyone. However, this time the golden egg is a bit big, and naturally there are a lot of golden sand grains inside, so no one can see clearly how many crystals are in the golden sand grains at once. Shen Yanai couldn't wait to look for crystals in those golden sand grains. After all, it was related to her luck and whether she could get Li Xiaoluo's reward, but Li Xiaoluo stopped Shen Yanai because it was too troublesome for her to do so. The reason why Li Xiaoluo did this before was because the golden egg was not big, and there were not many golden sand particles poured out. The total amount was only about a few rice bowls, so it was very easy to pick out the crystals from it, but the golden egg that Shen Yanai smashed had at least 10 times more golden sand. It would still take a lot of time to find all the crystals among so many sand, so Li Xiaoluo stopped Shen Yanai's inefficient method, and then gathered a large vegetable basket from the system space, the kind with meshes, and the meshes were relatively small. Then asked Shen Yanai and the others to pour the golden sand into the vegetable basket, and shake it back and forth a few times to sift out all the golden sand. The last thing left in the vegetable basket is the crystal. This kind of speed is naturally much faster than Shen Yanai and the others going to slowly search for them one by one in a large pile of sand. Brother-in-law, look, there is a large crystal here. Shen Yanai and the others quickly sifted through all the golden sand. Originally, Shen Yanai's face was not very pretty because judging from the number of crystals she obtained, it seems that she obtained even less than Li Xiaoluo before, but the golden egg she opened was much bigger. It would be a bit embarrassing to say this out loud, but at the last moment after sifting the golden sand, Shen Yanai discovered a large crystal, which was twice the size of ordinary crystals. This made Shen Yanai's heart immediately become active again. The quantity was not enough, so she had to improve the quality. Everyone knows that even those diamonds before the end of the world are worth a lot more for every carat they weigh, and if it exceeds a certain size, it is even more valuable. Although Shen Yanai didn't know whether crystals were the same and bigger was better, she was still very happy to have a big one. Hearing Shen Yanai's exclamation, Li Xiaoluo also came over immediately. In fact, he had never seen a large crystal in his previous life. and he didn't know if bigger would be better. However, when Xialuo got close to the crystal, the system had already given the answer. Ding. The system prompts. 1. Level 2. Crystal has been detected, which can be exchanged for 10,000 energy points. Will the host exchange it? Ding. The system prompts. 75. Level 1. Crystals have been detected, which can be exchanged for 7,500 energy points. Can the host exchange them all? Needless to say, the large crystal is naturally a second-level crystal, and the value given by the system is 100 times that of the first-level crystal. In other words, one second-level crystal is equal to 100 first-level crystals. Yes, the bigger it is, the more valuable it is. Then there are 75 first-level crystals, which means that the total number of crystals in the golden egg opened by Shen Yanyan is 76, but if all are converted into first-level crystals, it is equivalent to 175 crystals. This makes Xialuo quite happy. He has been poor for a long time, and when the time comes, Shen Miao and the others will also need crystals to awaken and upgrade. So Xialuo will send all the female soldiers out to find crystals at all costs. After learning that the large golden eggs contain secondary crystals, Xialuo was also looking forward to the remaining 2 large golden eggs. Xialuo asked Alice to smash the second big golden egg. Alice was a serious princess before her death, and Charlotte wanted to see how lucky she was, and Alice did not disappoint Xialuo. Her golden egg contained a total of 83 crystals. Among them, there are 3 second-level crystals and 80 first-level crystals. If all are converted into first-level crystals, that is 380 crystals. With the last big golden egg left, Xialuo asked Shen Miao to smash it. In Xialuo's heart, Shen Miao and Josiah Tong, who were the first to follow him, still hold the most weight. And when Shen Miao cracked open the last large golden egg and then sifted out the crystals, Charlotte was stunned. Chapter 317. Xialuo is all numb. There were 99 crystals in the golden egg that Shen Miao smashed open. Among them, there are 39 second-level crystals and 60 first-level crystals. Everyone in Xialuo is numb. According to Xialuo's experience, no matter whether it is a golden egg in a meteorite or a meteorite, the number of crystals in each golden egg should not exceed 100, but Shen Miao actually opened 99 pills. It's definitely Xialuo, who has been born in 2 lifetimes and has the most outbursts I have ever seen. Moreover, there are as many as 39 second-level crystals among them. Just converting these second-level crystals into first-level crystals, that's 3,900, based on the average production of 80 first-level crystals from an ordinary meteorite. The crystals produced by Shen Miao are almost equivalent to the crystals produced by 50 ordinary meteorites. 50 meteorites. In Xialuo's impression, the meteorites falling from the sky this time were not cabbage. They were not everywhere. There may not even be 50 meteorites in a city. Xialuo was convinced. What is the European emperor and what is the proud daughter of heaven? Maybe she is talking about people like Shen Miao, not to mention Shen Miao's appearance and figure. She is so beautiful and fragrant that even beauties of Qin Yumi's level would envy her. Then before the end, although Shen Miao was from a poor family background, he was still a top student, and in the post-apocalyptic world, those who have supernatural talents are the only ones in a million, and Shen Miao's superpower talent can be said to be one of the best among superpowers. Now she can open a crystal at will, and she is far ahead of everyone else. Xialuo can't even be convinced, but it doesn't matter. Shen Miao will be his woman for the rest of his life anyway, and she will be his right-hand man. The more Shen Miao becomes the European emperor, the more Xialuo makes money. Xialuo calculated the total number of crystals he currently has. First-level crystals, 303. Second-level crystals, 43. This is just the harvest near Taoyuan territory, but Xialuo actually knew in his heart that these gains mainly depended on that large meteorite. Then, Xialuo directly exchanged 200 first-level crystals for the system, and exchanged them for 20,000 energy points. The strongest shelter system in the Doomsday, Lord, Xialuo, Level 1, Lord's Mansion, Villa Number 1, Longting, 36th floor, Building A, Wutanggyun Community, Innate Ability, Exploring Eye, Special Abilities, Space, 20,000, Teleportation, Level 1, Contracted Subordinates. 5/5, Josiah Tong, Shen Miao, Zhang Panpin, Alice, Anna, Energy Points. 20,000, Shop, Level 1, The reason why Xialuo didn't redeem all the crystals to the system was because he wanted to find out more about the situation. For example, Xialuo wanted to see how many crystals it would cost to upgrade his abilities, and after having energy points, Xialuo's teleportation, level 1, ability indeed has more upgrade options. Xialuo uses his mind to choose to upgrade. Ding. Do you want to spend 10,000 energy points to upgrade the teleportation ability to level 2, Xialuo didn't hesitate and silently said yes. Then after feeling a subtle change in his body, Xialuo looked at the system interface again. The energy points had been reduced by 10,000 points, and the teleportation ability was also shown to be level 2. After the teleportation ability is upgraded to level 2, the main changes, the range of each teleportation is greatly increased. Previously, at level 1, the furthest distance was only 500 meters, but now the furthest distance can reach 1,500 meters. Then the number of teleports per day has almost doubled. However, Xialuo didn't have time to experience it for the time being, so he looked at the system interface again. Then, Li chose to continue upgrading his teleportation ability. Ding. Upgrading the teleportation ability from level 2 to level 3 requires 1 million energy points. The host has insufficient energy points. Please recharge in time. Hearing this prompt, Xialuo was not surprised. Instead, he was already mentally prepared. After all, activating the teleportation ability initially consumed 100 energy points, and then upgrading from level 1 to level 2 requires 10,000 energy points, which is 100 times, so it makes sense that it costs 1 million energy points to upgrade from level 2 to level 3. In fact, although Xialuo did not have superpower talents in his previous life, he still knew something about superpowers. After all, in the previous life, when the meteorite disaster struck, ordinary survivors basically lived under the protection or slavery of superpowers, so everyone was very concerned about everything about superpowers. According to what Xialuo knows, people with supernatural talents can awaken their powers as long as they can obtain 1 crystal. Then with 100 crystals, you can upgrade your power to level 2. With 10,000 crystals, you can upgrade your powers to level 3. For each additional level, the crystals consumed are 100 times higher, so after calculation, the number of crystals consumed for ordinary superpower upgrades and system upgrades are actually exactly the same. Xialuo just verified it and wanted to see if there are any discounts for system upgrades. Now it seems that Xialuo has thought too much. Next, the remaining crystals will be used. Xialuo plans to use part of them to enhance the overall strength of Taoyuan leader. That's right. This time Xialuo is not only improving his own strength, but also improving the strength of the entire Taoyuan territory. 4 women with supernatural talents in the territory, as long as their friendship level exceeds 80, Xialuo will provide them with crystals to awaken their supernatural powers. Xialuo actually thought about whether he should just use all the crystals on himself, and then see if he could directly upgrade several of his powers to level 3 when the time comes. Then you will be invincible in the world. You know, in the previous life, when Xialuo died, the highest level superpower he knew was actually only level 2. After all, in the previous life, when the survivors knew that there were crystals in the meteorites, it was a relatively late event. At that time, monsters had begun to appear. Even if the survivors discovered the meteorite, it would be very difficult to easily obtain the crystals inside the meteorite. It's not like Xialuo, who relies on the prophet now, and then takes advantage of the other survivors who don't know about the meteorite to strike first, and there are no competitors. In addition, the monsters haven't appeared yet, so he can easily get a lot of crystals. Therefore, after all the female soldiers sent out come back, Xialuo believes that the total number of crystals obtained by Taoyuan leader, converted into first-level crystals, will reach 10,000 without any problem. If all these crystals are used on Xialuo, it will be enough for Xialuo to directly upgrade a certain ability to level 3, be the first ever. It's just that he uses all the crystals on himself and becomes a level 3 superpower, or use the crystals on all the women with supernatural talents in Taoyuan territory to cultivate 10 level 2 supernatural beings. Xialuo still chose the latter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 318: The Girls Awaken Their Powers. After all, if Xialuo uses all the crystals on himself, Li Xiaoluo will indeed be far ahead in strength and temporarily become the most powerful superpower in the world, at least, for a long time. Absolutely no one can surpass Li Xiaoluo in terms of superpower level. However, in fact, sometimes the level of a superpower does not necessarily represent strength. Sometimes leapfrogging battles are not a part of novels. In addition, when the monsters appear in the future, there will be a lot of battles. In Li Xiaoluo's dictionary, he has always liked to be stubborn and has never liked trouble. If Taoyuan leader only has Li Xiaoluo as a superpower master, and he needs to take action on everything in the future, then Li Xiaoluo will be depressed to death. Therefore, while Li Xiaoluo is improving his own strength, he must also let the women with supernatural talents in Taoyuan become stronger together. Moreover, Li Xiaoluo knows the loyalty of all women. As long as women are absolutely loyal, even if Li Xiaoluo trains them to be stronger than himself, Li Xiaoluo does not have to worry about them being betrayed. Li Xiaoluo did some calculations in his mind. Not counting himself, there are a total of 10 women with supernatural talents here at the headquarters. Shen Miao, Ice Power; Shen Yanayan, Plant Supernatural Powers; Ken Yumi, Healing Power; Zhang Panpan, the Power of Teleportation; Gilai Arena, Space Power; Qin Xianglin, Earth-type Superpower; Alice, Lightning Power; Park Ji-yun, Fire Power; Anna, Metal Power; Suyan, Metal Superpower. Regarding all the women with supernatural talents in Taoyuan territory, Li Xiaoluo had previously established a rule. Only when their friendship level exceeds 80, Li Xiaoluo would consume crystals to awaken her. In addition, these 10 people are naturally close to Li Xiaoluo. Moreover, the superpowers they possess are also different. Their superpowers have different effects on the Taoyuan territory. Therefore, Li Xiaoluo's importance to them must be different. Some people can not only awaken, but also give priority to improving the level of their abilities, while some people can only stay behind. And Li Xiaoluo took a look and found that among the 10 women with supernatural talents, only Su Yan's friendliness could reach 80. After all, she had only joined Taoyuan for a short time, and her friendship level reached 80 because Li Xiaoluo gave her some special treatment, and Shen Miao usually paid special attention to her. The friendliness of the other 9 women has naturally exceeded 80. Then Li Xiaoluo started to call names, and 10 women, including Shen Miao, stood up. All the girls who were named by Li Xiaoluo quickly stood up, and their faces were full of excitement at this time, because they all knew what Li Xiaoluo wanted them to do. They are going to become superpowers, although when their friendship level exceeded 80. Li Xiaoluo had already vaccinated them, letting them know that they could become a person with powers in the future, but when this moment really came, they were still very excited. However, there are some women who cannot become superpowers, such as Zhao Mimi, Sun Qianqian, and Zhao Xiaolu. Their eyes were full of envy at this time, and their hearts were very gloomy. Why can so many people become superpowers but not just a few of them? They are too useless. But Zhao Mimi and the others naturally don't know that there are only a dozen of them here now, and suddenly 10 women can become superpowers. The ratio is too high. It seems that the proportion of people without supernatural talents is very small. And they are very unlucky people. But how did Zhao Mimi and the others know that Li Xiaoluo was trying to find Shen Miao and the other 10 people with supernatural talents? How much time did it take and how many people did it take to find them? Of course, at this moment, no one is paying attention to women like Zhao Mimi and others who have no supernatural talents. Now, everyone's attention is on Li Xiaoluo. Li Xiaoluo held 10 first-level crystals in his hand, and then gave one to each of Shen Miao and the other 10 people. Eat it and you will awaken your powers. Shen Miao and the others were stunned when they heard that they were going to eat stones, but all women have unconditional trust in Li Xiaoluo. The women who got the crystals threw them into their mouths without hesitation. In fact, Li Xiaoluo did not tell them that human survivors only need to eat crystals when they awaken their powers in the future. After they awaken their powers, if they want to upgrade their powers, they only need to hold the crystals in their hands and absorb them. Otherwise, every time you upgrade in the future, you will have to eat hundreds or even tens of thousands of stones. Then they will really have indigestion. Shen Miao, who was the first to swallow the crystal given by Li Xiaoluo, quickly showed a look of pain on her face. She felt that after swallowing the crystal, a mysterious power began to appear in her body, and then she began to feel a sharp pain in her mind, as if something was about to burst out of her mind. Like Shen Miao, other women also began to show painful expressions on their faces after swallowing crystals, but like Qin Xianglin, The painful look on her face only lasted for 20 or 30 seconds, and she quickly returned to normal. Then Qin Xianglin opened her eyes, with an ecstatic look on her face, because she had awakened her superpower. But soon, Qin Xianglin's face fell again, because the Lord told them that the longer it takes for someone to awaken their abilities, the higher their talent will be and the more powerful they will be in the future. Therefore, it took Qin Xianglin the shortest time to see her awakening. Why didn't she know that her talent was the worst among these women? Hey, even if you become a superpower, you still have to be inward. In fact, Qin Xianglin's requirements are not high, as long as she is not the one with the worst talent. Although the Lord did not say that he would look down on those with the least talent, she still felt a little embarrassed. However, Qin Xianglin is actually just worried. The number of superpowers is very rare, so every superpower has a very high status. In particular, Qin Xianglin is also an earth element user, and her role is also great. In the future, as long as there are no other earth-type superpowers in Taoyuan territory, even if she has the worst talent, she will still be reused. No, even if earth-type superpowers join in the future, compared to ordinary women in Taoyuan territory, their status will still be that of superpowers. Qin Xianglin woke up first, followed by Anna, Park Hye-in, Gulai Rina, Ken Yumi, one after another. The pain on their faces returned to normal. In the end, only Shen Mio, Alice and Xiao Panpan were still awakening. They are all people with a potential value exceeding 90. They can be said to be the proud women of heaven and absolute geniuses, especially Shen Mio and Alice. Not only did it take a long time for them to wake up, but there was also a lot of movement later. There were electric arcs jumping around Alice's body, while the temperature around Shen Mio dropped sharply, and there seemed to be an extra layer of white ice crystals in the air. The gap between people is sometimes indeed huge. The women who had awakened looked at Shen Mio and the others with extremely shocked and envious eyes, especially people like Li Xialuo, who don't even have supernatural talents, don't even have the qualifications to envy them. But Li Xiaoluo has a system, so there is no need to envy others. Chapter 319 The World of Genius. 3 minutes later, Alice's awakening finally ended. 5 minutes later, Little Panpan's awakening was over. Finally, 10 minutes later, Shen Mio was the last one to complete the awakening. No wonder people often say that geniuses are only considered geniuses when they have grown up. Otherwise, if they die halfway, no matter how good the talent is, it will be in vain. It took Shen Mio and the others such a long time to awaken. Fortunately, they were all in Taoyuan territory and there was no danger. If they were in other places and encountered any danger during their awakening, they might be in trouble. Wow, Yan, you seem to have become more beautiful. After all the women have completed their awakening, everyone's restrictions have been lifted and they can naturally speak again. Then Zhao Xiao on the side couldn't help it at first. He took Shen Yan'an's hand and looked left and right at her face. Finally, he wanted to touch Shen Yan'an's more supple face. Go, Zhao Xiaolu, you want to act like a hooligan. Shen Yan'an reached out angrily and opened Zhao Xiaolu's little hand, but she couldn't help but touch her face. It does seem to be wider and tenderer. In fact, Shen Yan'an had just discovered that the women who had awakened their powers seemed to have become more beautiful, and even their skin was better. However, some women's changes will be smaller, and some women's changes will be larger. Generally speaking, the longer it takes to awaken a superpower, the greater the change the power in their body will bring to them. For example, Shen Mio took the longest time to awaken. Logically speaking, she should have changed the most, but after awakening, Shen Mio was indeed more radiant and more beautiful. However, in fact, in comparison, Shen Mio's changes are not as big as Shen Yan'an's, or even not as big as Qin Xianglin's and the others. The main reason is that Shen Mio was already as beautiful as a fairy before. In addition, she was often moisturized by Li Xiaoluo, and her skin was as white and tender as water. So even if she suddenly became more beautiful, the visual impact on people was not that big. On the contrary, the visual impact of Shen Yan'an and Qin Xianglin looks even greater. When Shen Yan'an opened his hand, Zhao Xiaolu was not angry at Shen Yan'an's actions, but felt very happy in his heart. Zhao Xiaolu actually heard Li Xiaoluo say that in the future, people with superpowers will be considered superior among human survivors. Zhao Xiaolu was also afraid that Shen Yan'an would become aloof after awakening her superpower. Zhao Xiaolu looked at Shen Yan'an with stars in her eyes and said, Yan'an, tell me quickly, what changes have you made after you awakened? You really envy me, Shen Yan'an's adoring eyes towards Zhao Xiaolu made her feel very happy, and she said proudly, "Oh, actually I don't feel much, I just feel like my body has become more powerful. Now I can defeat you with one hand even if I don't use my powers. In addition, there is a mysterious power in the body, but I am still not familiar with this power, and it may take some time to practice to control it." Zhao Xiaolu didn't want to pay attention to Shen Yan'an. It was too Versailles. What else is there? Awakening the superpower not only gives her magical abilities, but also makes her more beautiful and physically stronger. Is there anything better than this? It's simply a blow. In addition to Shen Yan'an and Zhao Xiaolu, other women are also communicating with each other. In short, women who basically have no supernatural talents become even more envious after learning more about them. In fact, Shen Yan'an is right. People who have just begun to awaken their powers need to use their powers more, so that they can master their abilities more quickly. So Li Xiaolu asked them all to go outside the villa and find a quiet place to practice their abilities so that they could become familiar with their own abilities as soon as possible. The reason why they were asked to go outside the villa was to practice separately. That's because they are still not able to skillfully control their own powers. If they use their powers at the same time, they might cause some trouble. After listening to Li Xiaolu's words, Shen Yan'an and others honestly left the villa and went outside to practice their powers. However, Shen Miao, Alice and Xiao Panpan did not leave. They said that they were already able to master their own powers. Is this genius? Li Xiaolu asked Alice to try it first. Alice's beautiful face showed a charming smile, and then nodded. Alice slowly stretched out a hand, and instantly a purple thunder and lightning appeared in the palm of her hand. The thunder and lightning kept sparking in the sky above Alice's palm. Then Alice waved her hand casually, and the purple lightning in her hand headed towards a big tree. Boom! The big tree was directly hit by lightning, and many tree trunks were blown to pieces. The lightning power is definitely one of the most destructive powers. However, this violent thunder and lightning is like a good baby in Alice's hands, letting her control it. And after seeing Alice's performance, Li Xiaolu also believed that she could indeed control her powers freely. The world of genius is indeed not something that someone like Li Xiaolu, who relies on systems, can understand. Just like when I was studying in the past. People with poor grades listen to the teacher's lectures as if they were listening to heavenly scriptures, but people with good grades will know it after listening to it once. Little Panpan, come and try too. Okay, brother, I won't let you down. When Li Xiaolu called her name, Xiao Panpan's face was full of seriousness. Ever since Li Xiaolu rescued her and recognized her as her sister, Li Xiaolu has become the most important relative in Xiao Panpan's heart, because her brother is really nice to her and doesn't dislike her because of her physical defects. However, in the past, Xiao Panpan actually still had very low self-esteem in her heart, because she is young and physically disabled. She is of no use to Taoyuan leader, she is just a burden. The better Li Xiaolu treats her, the greater the pressure in her heart, so she usually studies hard, thinking that if she can learn more things, she can help her brother, and now, she has gained a superpower. And it is also the superpower of teleportation. Then even if her legs and feet are inconvenient in the future, she will not be useless. Little Panpan used her powers, and then she suddenly disappeared from the wheelchair. The next moment she appeared on the roof of Villa number 1, and the next moment she appeared on the roof of Villa number 10. On the roof of Villa number 10, Little Panpan waved to Li Xiaolu and the others cutely, and the next moment, Little Panpan sat back in her wheelchair. Teleportation is a very practical ability. Even Shen Miao and Alice looked a little envious. Chapter 320 The person who has been spying on Taoyuan. Alice and Xiao Panpan both showed off their abilities in front of Li Xiaolu. In the end, there was no need to look at the remaining Shen Miao and Li Xiaolu. Charlotte Li definitely believes in her talent. After all, others don't know it, but Li Xiaolu knows that Shen Miao's talent is higher than Alice and all of them. Now that Alice and the others have mastered it, Shen Miao must not even mention it. Li Xiaolu was just about to let Shen Miao stop showing it, when suddenly Shen Miao's walkie-talkie rang. Madam, there is a group of survivors coming towards our villa area. There are quite a few of them, and they all seem to have weapons in their hands, although Li Xiaolu sent out all female soldiers to perform tasks. Taoyuan leader actually implemented a militia system in addition to the female soldiers in the security team. In other words, in addition to the female soldiers in the security team, the women led by Taoyuan also need to undergo certain military training in peacetime. Once a war really breaks out, Taoyuan territory will be able to deploy all soldiers. Although the militiamen may not be as capable as female soldiers, they can still perform some auxiliary tasks in emergencies, so this time the female soldiers were sent out to do tasks, and Shen Miaomio arranged for the militia team led by Taoyuan to be on duty. Otherwise, if there are no people on duty, no one will know if the enemy breaks into Taoyuan directly. Shen Miaomio and others who live in Villa Number 1 are not in any danger, but it is hard to say if Taoyuan takes other women. At this time, on the small road in the Longding Villa area, a group of people were walking quickly towards the top of the mountain. Their target was Villa Number 10, which is Li Xiaoluo's Taoyuan territory. There are almost 20 people in this group, and they are basically all tall and strong men, and all of them have machetes, axes and other weapons in their hands. Even the leader of the group, a young man with a crew cut, has a pistol in his hand. At this time, this group of people has only one purpose, and that is to break into the Taoyuan territory, and then take away everything in that Taoyuan territory. Even things that cannot be taken away must be destroyed. All this is because they want revenge. The boss of this group, that is, the crew cut young man named Hanzhou. After the apocalypse, because he had a gun in his hand, he and his brother Hanping controlled many people and robbed a lot of food. In the last days, the life will be similar to that of the Earth Emperor. Later, the floods came, and Hanzhou and Hanping lost a lot of supplies, so they began to make some water vehicles and went around to grab supplies, because they have guns and a lot of horses under them. Their robbery business in Hanzhou has been going smoothly until they came to the Longding Villa area and met the force called Taoyuan leader. Hanzhou still remembers that scene. At that time, after they saw the Taoyuan leader in the boat, everyone was a little ecstatic because that Taoyuan collar is so good. Not only does it have several villas that have not been flooded, they are very suitable for living. Moreover, the villa area is sparsely populated and there are mountains and forests, so it feels particularly suitable to be the home base of their team. In addition, there are many women in Taoyuan leader, which just solves the problem of lack of women in their team. That Taoyuan collar is simply a perfect shelter tailor-made for them. As for whether the people of Taoyuan leader are willing to surrender to them, they don't care too much in Hanzhou, which has always been smooth sailing. If they are not willing to surrender, then they will beat them until they surrender. In Hanzhou's view, these survivors living in the villa must be the rich people before the apocalypse. They were naturally aloof before the apocalypse. It can be said that they are the existence they can only look up to, but now that order has collapsed, what else can they do? So Hanzhou and the others sent some of their men to land in Taoyuan territory, and then planned to completely occupy the territory of Taoyuan territory. However, what happened next made Hanzhou understand the power of this Taoyuan leader. A group of female soldiers suddenly appeared from the Taoyuan leader, and then opened fire on the people they landed on, killing most of them on the spot. A small number of people wanted to escape and return to their ship, but they were also killed. Killed them accurately one by one. If Hanzhou and the others hadn't been more cautious at that time, some of them would have stayed on the boat in the water and fled as soon as they discovered the danger. Otherwise they would have been annihilated. But Hanping, his brother in Hanzhou, stayed there forever. Later, Hanzhou also found out that after his brother Hanping was killed, his body was hung up in a demonstration. Although Hanzhou kills without blinking an eye and is as ruthless as a devil after the apocalypse, the relationship between him and his elder brother is still very good, so Hanzhou made up his mind that he must avenge his brother. But Hanzhou is not an idiot. He knows that if he fights head-on, he is no match for the Taoyuan leader. Although the Taoyuan leader is just a group of women, their firepower is too powerful and they are simply not something he can deal with. So Hanzhou found a shelter near the Taoyuan collar, and then sent people to stare at the Taoyuan collar from a distance every day with binoculars. He didn't believe it. That Taoyuan ability had no flaws. Hard work paid off. During the flood period, Hanzhou did not find a chance to deal with Taoyuan leader. But he didn't expect that just after the flood, his opportunity finally came. The men sent by Hanzhou to monitor reported to him that the women in Taoyuan leader had gone crazy and suddenly sent out all the female soldiers. Now is definitely the moment when Taoyuan leader's strength is at its weakest. After hearing the report from his subordinates, Hanzhou was overjoyed, because in his opinion, the women in Taoyuan Ling may not be crazy, but they are hungry. Hanzhou sent people to secretly monitor Taoyuan leader for so long, so he naturally knows some general information about Taoyuan leader. For example, he knew that there were more than 100 people in Taoyuan collar, and most of them were women. In addition, the women in Taoyuan never go out to search for supplies, Maybe because they don't have much water transportation, or maybe they are afraid of danger, but no matter what, the women in Taoyuanling are always sitting on empty seats. Therefore, as soon as the flood was over, all the female soldiers led by Taoyuan were dispatched, which seemed to be an inevitable result in Han's Hao, because if they don't go out, they may starve to death soon. After all, there are more than 100 people in Taoyuan collar. Even if they only consume 50 kilograms of grain every day, they will consume 1 or 2,000 kilograms of grain in a month. Taoyuan's grain reserves are not enough for them to live on empty land, so after the flood is over, they must immediately go outside to search for food, and the Taoyuan leader actually sent out all the female soldiers, which is enough to show their urgency. Maybe they've all run out of food, so Han's Hao did not hesitate. He thought that this was the opportunity to clean up the Taoyuan territory and avenge his elder brother. Chapter 321 Shen Miao takes action. Han's Hao led his men towards Villa number 10 on the top of the mountain. Along the way, there was basically no trace of human activity in other parts of the Longding Villa area. After all, during the flood, except for a few villas on the top of the mountain, all other villas were flooded. At this time, Han's Hao was actually thinking about something. According to the report from his men, although all the female soldiers led by Taoyuan went out, they all went out in cars. Although Han's Hao didn't know why Taoyuanling still had so many driving cars after the flood, but Han's Hao knows one thing, that is, their operation must be resolved quickly. Otherwise, what if the women left behind and Taoyuan leader have a way to contact the female soldiers who have gone out, or those female soldiers just come back? You can imagine what happened to them in Han's Hao. Therefore, the Taoyuan leader must be completely dealt with before those female soldiers come back. Let those stinky bee only see a destroyed Taoyuan territory when they come back. Only in this way can Han's Hao completely vent his anger. As for their escape route after destroying the Taoyuan territory, Han's Hao had already planned it. They can escape through the path in the mountain behind the villa. There was nothing we could do about it. During the flood, they had an advantage over Taoyuanling in terms of transportation, but now, there are so many cars in Taoyuan collar, but they can only walk on their own feet, so if he didn't leave by a lonely road, he was really afraid of being overtaken by the female soldiers led by Taoyuan. Just after Han's Hao thought about everything in his mind, Han's Hao's team finally reached the territory of Taoyuan territory. The first thing they saw in Han's Hao was naturally the number 10 villa at the outermost edge of Taoyuan territory. At this time, on the roof of villa number 10, Hanzhou saw many women standing upstairs looking at them. However, Han's Hao could see a trace of panic in the eyes of some women. Haha, Han's Hao laughed in his heart. As expected, they were not the female soldiers they met last time. If those female soldiers we met last time were still here, not only would those female soldiers not panic when they saw them, they would have shot them long ago. Now, it's finally their turn to gain the upper hand. Han's Hao shouted at the women upstairs in villa number 10. All the women upstairs, listen, I will give you a chance to surrender. As long as you surrender, my brothers and I will promise not to hurt you. Otherwise, I will not care about your fate when the time comes. I believe you will clear, go, and daydream. I advise you to leave our Taoyuan territory as soon as possible, otherwise you will only die. A woman upstairs in villa number 10 condescendingly cursed at Han's Hao downstairs. Although they are not female soldiers of the security team, they are just ordered to perform duty here in times of crisis, and it is the first time they directly face so many vicious thugs. Some women will inevitably feel a little panicked, but all the women in villa number 10 actually believe in one thing, that is, they will definitely not lose, because even if the female soldiers have gone out to perform tasks, they still need the Lord. As long as the Lord comes, these thugs will definitely not end well. FK, a bunch of stinky bee. If you don't eat the toast, you'll have to drink it as a fine. Go get half of them and arrest all the women in this villa. Han's Hao glanced at the women upstairs in villa number 10. He was not in the mood to argue with these women. He just wanted to settle things quickly now. Hanzhou's men responded, and then some of them held weapons and were about to enter villa number 10 to arrest people. Suddenly, a man shouted, "Boss, look, a group of women are coming over there." "I'm sorry, a group of fairies are coming." Han's Hao quickly looked in the direction where his men were pointing, and sure enough, a group of women were walking towards them. When they saw the faces of Shen Miao and the others, even Han's Hao was dumbfounded. Damn, what's going on in Taoyuan? Is this a concentration camp for the best beauties? In addition to the gorgeous woman walking in the front, there are also beautiful celebrities from before the apocalypse. as well as beautiful foreign girls with tall figures and angelic looks, let alone in such an apocalypse. Even before the apocalypse, it would be difficult for them in Hanzhou to see a beauty of this level in reality. What's more, they are still a group of top-notch beauties. Hanzhou is very happy now. The last time they came here, they did not see these top beauties, otherwise, he might not be able to bear it for so long and would have come to trouble Taoyuan leader, but if the female soldiers from Taoyuan leader did not leave, they would come to cause trouble for Taoyuan leader, and in the end they would be the only ones unlucky, and now, the time is just right. At this time, Hanzhou was very excited. After all, living in the doomsday of such a disaster, no one knows when they may die, but if you can get so many top-notch beauties and have fun with them before you die, then it will be worth dying. Beauty, who among you is in charge? I am a compassionate man. As long as you are willing to surrender to us, I can promise not to hurt you. Looking at Shen Miao and the girls not far away, Hanzhou said confidently, yes, beauties, stop resisting, or it will hurt you. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. As for Hanzhou's subordinates, many men nodded repeatedly and drooled all over the floor. However, Shen Miao's cold voice came, my people have warned you that anyone who dares to invade our Taoyuan territory will die. Haha, beauty, although you are indeed very beautiful, but haven't you figured out what the situation is now? Hanzhou couldn't help laughing. Shen Miao is too lazy to pay attention to Hanzhou anymore. Just now, Shen Miao and the others were showing off their powers, but when it was Shen Miao's turn to show off, people like Hanzhou came to cause trouble. So Xialuo immediately decided to let Shen Miao practice with the thugs who came to his door. In this way, it will be more effective than just watching Shen Miao's performance. Shen Miao naturally has no objection. After living in the apocalypse for so long, Shen Miao is no longer afraid of killing people. As long as she can help brother Xialuo, she is willing to do anything. Just when Hanzhou was laughing at Shen Miao's face turned cold. With her palms raised, 5 white ice crystal arrows as thick as her little finger condensed in front of her in an instant. Shen Miao waved her jade hand towards Hanzhou and the others, and 5 ice crystal arrows flew out fiercely. This sudden situation made everyone in Hanzhou on the opposite side stunned. Then their pupils dilated and their eyes were filled with fear. A bone-chilling cold air hit them face to face, and Hanzhou and the others subconsciously wanted to avoid it, but Shen Miao's ice crystal arrows are so fast, almost faster than the speed of bullets. The person who is targeted by Shen Miao's arrows has no time to react. Chapter 322 The Terrifying Shen Miao. The ice crystal arrows fired by Shen Miao shot into the group of people in Hanzhou. Just like wolves among sheep, each ice crystal arrow accurately found its target. 5 people, including Hanzhou, suddenly let out a scream, and then their bodies were completely penetrated by an ice crystal arrow, killing them with one blow. Even the person who was killed soon had his entire body frozen and became a frozen statue of a real person. As for the other subordinates in Hanzhou, although they were not the direct targets of Shen Miao's ice crystal arrows, some of them couldn't help but tilt their bodies because they were close to the corpses that were frozen into ice sculptures. Chill, they can even feel that there is a layer of white frost on the surface of their bodies, and their bodies have become a little stiffer. It's too cold. The air near them seemed to be frozen. It was so terrifying. Also, what exactly is going on? Did that extremely beautiful woman suddenly conjure up a few arrows made of ice, and with just one move, the boss was shot dead? Are they dreaming? This sudden and bizarre phenomenon, as well as the death of their companions, completely chilled their hearts, but there was no time for them to think too much. Shen Miao waved his hand again, still 5 ice crystal arrows, and then quickly shot towards the dozen or so thugs who were still alive. This time, the thugs were actually already prepared, so they all moved quickly to avoid Shen Miao's ice crystal arrows. But Shen Miao's ice crystal arrows are not only extremely fast, but she can also control the direction of the ice crystal arrows. This is Shen Miao's powerful talent. Her control of supernatural powers has reached the point of perfection. Several more screams were heard, and then there were several more ice sculptures on the ground. No, you kill me, beauty. I surrender. I surrender to Shen Miao's superpower, which is beyond human cognition, immediately frightened some of the remaining thugs. In fact, the continuous ice arrows that Shen Miao shot towards them seemed to have affected the air near them, making it difficult for them to speak because they were so cold. Facing the remaining thugs who wanted to surrender, Shen Miaomiao's eyes were cold, because Brother Xialuo said that they did not need prisoners. Shen Miaomiao casually launched several more waves of ice crystal arrow attacks, and then all the remaining thugs were frozen into ice sculptures. In less than a minute, Shen Miaomiao wiped out all the thugs with a wave of his hand, almost in the calm air. To be honest, Shen Miaomiao's killing speed and method are even more shocking than Li Xiaoluo's previous killings. Regarding Shen Miaomiao's performance, everyone watching behind her, including Li Xiaoluo, couldn't help but sigh at Shen Miaomiao's power. However, Li Xiaoluo was actually mentally prepared for it, because he has known for a long time that as long as Shen Miaomiao awakens her powers, no one can suppress her strength, and she will be the invincible Ice and Snow Queen from now on. You know, if this battle was not Shen Miaomiao, but someone else who had awakened the ice power, the victory would definitely not be as easy as Shen Miaomiao. For example, some ice power users cannot condense 5 ice crystal arrows at once like Shen Miaomiao. Their ability to control the power may not be as proficient as Shen Miaomiao, and they cannot control the direction of the ice crystal arrows. Exclamation mark. Also, the temperature of the ice arrows condensed by ordinary ice superpowers is not as terrifying as Shen Miaomiao's. Shen Miaomiao's ice arrows can not only turn the person they shoot into ice sculptures, but can even affect the surrounding temperature within a certain range. In fact, this is also the reason why after the emergence of superpowers will be the top among human survivors in the future, because in front of superpowers, even if you have guns and ammunition, it is of no use at all. Just like Shen Miaomiao's ice power, she can now fire 5 ice arrows at one time, which is almost equivalent to her shooting 5 guns at the same time. And she can basically hit the target with 100% accuracy. Even her bullets have a freezing effect, can influence the actions of people around you, and when Shen Miaomiao's abilities are upgraded, the number of ice arrows she fires at one time will also increase exponentially. Then the power of her ice arrows will be greatly increased. For example, now her ice arrows can only freeze the person hit into an ice sculpture, and then people within 3 to 5 meters of the surrounding area will be affected by the cold air. But when Shen Miaomiao's power is upgraded, she can directly fire 20 ice arrows at a time, and each ice arrow can directly freeze creatures within a 10-meter radius. That kind of lethality is simply terrifying. Moreover, this is only one of Shen Miaomiao's ice-type attacks. In addition, she also has defensive abilities. For example, she can quickly form a wall of ice in front of her. Even if the enemy shoots at her, it can't easily break through the defense. That's why it is said that in the apocalypse in the future, those with superpowers will be the real ones in control, because strength means everything. Sister, it's so scary. Are you still my gentle sister? I'm so scared. After the battle, looking at the dead thugs, the scene was quiet for a while. Then, Shen Yannian spoke first and broke the silence. Shen Miaomiao glared at Shen Yannian angrily. Where was the cold and powerful aura just now, sister? Miaomiao, you are really amazing. Miaomiao, you are simply the goddess of war, sister. Miaomiao, you are a god. As soon as Shen Yannian opened her mouth, the atmosphere at the scene became lively again. Many women looked at Shen Miaomiao with admiration. In fact, they awakened their powers at about the same time as Shen Miaomiao, but many of them are not yet able to fully control their powers. Moreover, the abilities of Shen Yannian, Qin Yumei, and Gulai Rina are not combat-type abilities at all. Their superpowers are auxiliary. If they face so many thugs, they still can't defeat them, so they feel that Shen Miaomiao is even more powerful. No, Alice and the others are actually very powerful. It's just me taking action this time. Facing the compliments from many good sisters, Shen Miaomiao smiled sheepishly. Seeing such a cute and approachable Shen Miaomiao, the girls respected Shen Miaomiao even more. At the headquarters, Shen Miaomiao has always been the person with the highest status except Li Xiaoluo. Even among all the women of Li Xiaoluo, Shen Miaomiao's status has always been that of a big lady. But in the past, in the eyes of other women, Shen Miaomiao was just good-looking and beautiful, and she followed Li Xiaoluo before them, so she was the most favored by Li Xiaoluo. But Shen Miaomiao was still a student before the end of the world. In terms of ability, she would definitely not be much better than them, but after today, I am afraid that all women will truly be convinced by Shen Miaomiao. Chapter 323 Li Xiaoluo improves his strength. After dealing with the thugs who came to Taoyuan to seek death, Shen Miaomio asked people from the logistics department to come and clean up the scene. The woman from the logistics department quickly ran over. In fact, the Taoyuan territory is so big now, so if something big like an enemy invasion happens, even the women from the logistics department are secretly watching the developments in villain number 9. Exclamation mark. Then, they naturally saw the scene of Shen Miaomio showing off her power. At that time, a large number of people in the logistics department were shocked. In fact, there are already many people in Taoyuan territory who know the secrets of meteorites and crystals, but the people who know are either people close to Xialuo, or female soldiers from Taoyuan, because female soldiers must have a certain understanding if they want to go out to look for meteorites. However, some women at the lowest level of Taoyuan leader actually don't know anything about meteorites and crystals yet. They don't even know that under Xialuo's operation, their Taoyuan territory already has a lot of superpowers. And it is definitely the shelter with the most superpowers in the world, at least at this stage, and even for a long time to come. The number of superpower users in Taoyuan territory will be far ahead. After all, none of the survivors outside know that there are crystals and meteorites, so for the women in the logistics department, Shen Miaomio, the manager and hostess, is actually very familiar to them. Everyone basically has to deal with Shen Miaomio every day. In the past, although Shen Miaomio gradually gained some aura of a superior person because of the identity and power given by Xialuo, and after the last incident where someone jumped to the next level and complained, and many people were punished, the women at the bottom of the Taoyuan leadership have become more and more respectful to Shen Miaomio. However, this kind of respect is mainly due to the identity of Lord Shen Miaomio and his wife. However, the woman from the logistics department who was killed did not expect that Mrs. Shen Miaomio, who is usually very approachable, was actually such a powerful person with superpowers. No wonder Mrs. Shen Miaomio is the most loved and respected by the Lord. Everyone originally thought that it was because Shen Miaomio was the most beautiful or had the best figure, but now, they realize that they are still too superficial. MRS. Shen Miaomio's power is beyond their imagination, but after knowing how powerful Shen Miaomio was, the woman in the logistics department was still very happy after all. In this apocalyptic world, safety is always what women need most. Now there is another super powerful lady in Taoyuan collar, which is definitely good news for their ordinary women, because they are people from the Taoyuan leader. As long as the Taoyuan leader is stronger, they will feel safer. As for Xialuo, he is also ready to start improving his strength. Ding. Purchasing 4 Xiansun cards will cost 4,000 energy points. Are you sure? Sure, isn't it just 4,000 energy points? When converted into first-level crystals, there are only 40 crystals. If converted into second-level crystals, not even one is used. Xialuo said that this small amount of money is nothing now, and he is very wealthy now. After purchasing this Xiansun card, Xialuo began to use this Xiansun card on Shen Miaomio, Alice, and Anna. Ding. Xiansun failed to copy Shen Miaomio's ability. Please change the host's posture and try again. Damn, this system, even if it fails, is still teasing yourself. However, Xialuo was not too disappointed. When he used this Xiansun card on Xiao Panpan, he was very lucky and got into the soul immediately, but Xialuo felt that maybe the system was deliberately giving him a sweet spot. How could he always have such good luck now? Just like those software apps that hold activities before the end of the world, the chances of winning are almost the same as buying lottery tickets. Therefore, as long as the system does not treat the success probability as the same as those apps before the apocalypse, then Xialuo can still accept it, and the system is still a good system. After using 2 more Xiansun cards, Xialuo finally heard the wonderful prompt tone of the system. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully copying Shen Miaomio's ice power talent. So cool. Another powerful superpower has been obtained. Xialuo is in a great mood. Then, of course, we just continue to work hard. Xialuo continued to buy Xiansun cards, and then copied Alice's thunder power and Anna's gold power talent. However, it cost Xialuo a total of 16 Xiansun cards to copy the 3 of them supernatural talents. Calculated, on average, it cost Xialuo 5 Xiansun cards to obtain 1 superpower talent, which means that 1 superpower talent cost 50 first-level crystals. But Xialuo felt it was worth it, because in the apocalypse, any survivor who does not have superpower talents will definitely be willing to pay any price if there is a way to obtain superpower talents. and if it was under normal circumstances in the previous life, 51st level crystals were actually a large number even for a person with superpowers, because 50 crystals is almost equivalent to the number of crystals produced in a meteorite, but in the previous life, the crystals in the meteorites in the apocalypse were actually not so easy to obtain. The reason why Xialuo is so wealthy now is all because of his prophetic ability. Nowadays, meteorites are basically garbage on the roadside, and anyone can harvest them as he pleases, and he was lucky enough to get a large meteorite, which contained more valuable secondary crystals, so Xialuo was able to make a lot of money. After copying all the abilities of Shen Miao and the others, Xialuo simply provided a one-stop service to activate all three of his newly acquired abilities, and then upgraded them all to level 2. Upgrading each ability to level 2 only costs one level 2 crystal. After all, Xialuo has more than 42nd level crystals, which is enough for him to be extravagant. Anyway, crystals are just for spending, so there's no shortage of money. After everything was done, Xialuo looked at his system interface, the strongest shelter system in the Doomsday. Lord, Xialuo, Level 1, Lord's Mansion. Villa Number 1, Longting, 36th floor, Building A, Wutanggyun Community. Innate ability, Exploring Eye, Special Powers, Space, 20,000 20,000, Teleportation, Level 2, Ice Power, Level 2, Thunder Power, Level 2, Metal Power, Level 2, Contracted Subordinates. 5/5, Josiah Tong, Shen Miao, Jiang Panpin, Alice, Anna, Energy Points. 80,000, Shop, Level 2. Now looking at his system interface, Xialuo feels much more comfortable. Broilers are no longer what they used to be. Xialuo now has 5 kinds of abilities, and except for the space ability, the other 4 abilities are all level 2. As for the space ability, because it is given by the system, it cannot be upgraded. Moreover, Xialuo doesn't need to upgrade, because according to the information that Xialuo knew in his previous life, the survivor seems to have only 10 cubic meters of space after activating the space ability, and then it only has 100 cubic meters of space after upgrading to the second level, and Xialuo now has a full 20,000 cubic meters, so even if he can upgrade, Xialuo definitely can't afford it. In addition, the system's late sounded at this time. Chapter 324 Store Upgrade. Congratulations to the host. You have consumed more than 10,000 energy points in the system store. The store has been upgraded to level 2. The products in the system store have been updated. Please check it yourself in the store. In fact, after Xialuo purchased more than a dozen Hansun cards in the system store, the system already prompted a prompt. The system store was undergoing product updates and upgrades. Now, obviously the update has been completed. Xialuo immediately clicked on Store, and then saw the sales interface of the system store. In addition to the previous products, some new products have been added. Ordinary goods, 1 pound of beef. 10 energy points super reconnaissance drone. 100 energy points super wireless intercom. 100 energy points nuclear bulletproof vehicle. 500 energy points heavy machine gun, with 3,000 bullets. 1,000 energy points special items, small teleportation array. 50,000 energy points. After taking a look at several newly added products in the level 2 store, Xialuo didn't know for the time being whether they were good or not, but Xialuo knew one thing: their prices were more expensive than the previous products. It seems that the system is also very sensible. It knows that now that Xialuo is rich, his consumption will naturally be upgraded. Then Xialuo directly clicked on the newly added products in the level 2 store to check the general situation. Of course, first of all, exclude the beef. Now that Xialuo is not short of meat at all, he will naturally not buy it. However, just like the rice and drinking water in the first level store, these foods are actually very necessary for survivors in the apocalypse. It's a pity that the system encountered Xialuo, because Xialuo still has plenty of food now. However, Xialuo actually thinks that these foods can be purchased in the system, which is actually quite good. After all, Xialuo is indeed not short of food now, and he may not be short of food in many years, or even in this life. However, it's better to be prepared, because just in case, if you encounter some force majeure factors in the future and suddenly lack food, you can still buy food from the system store. This is also a way out. Then, Xialuo continued to check other products. Super reconnaissance drone. The characteristics of this drone are that it is small, has a long endurance, and is equipped with a night vision device, which can clearly detect the enemy's situation at night. Xialuo has his own systematic stealth reconnaissance drone, but actually he doesn't really need this drone. However, you can buy a few drones for the female troops to use. When they go out to perform missions or are on duty in the territory, they will be better to use than the ordinary drones they use now. Super wireless walkie-talkie, good signal, effective communication range of 1,000 kilometers, nuclear bulletproof vehicle, nuclear kinetic energy can be used for 10 years, and the entire vehicle is first-level bulletproof. Finally, the only special product added to the Level 2 store, small teleportation array. The function is the same as the small teleportation gate in the Lord's Mansion as long as a small teleportation array is established in 2 locations. Space teleportation can be carried out, however. The distance of the small teleportation array is also limited and cannot exceed 200 kilometers. Seeing the special commodity of the small teleportation array, Xialuo suddenly had a feeling in his heart. Maybe the system thought that he was too salty, so it produced such a small teleportation array. The main purpose is to let Charlotte Lee go out more, especially to other cities, so that he can harvest more crystals. Originally, in Xialuo's mind, he really wanted to continue being a salty fish. Xialuo also knows that if he goes to other cities or places farther away, when no one knows about meteorites in the early stage, he can indeed gain a lot, but before long, the wilderness will be very dangerous. If Xialuo leaves Taoyuan territory too far, it will be more troublesome to come back to Taoyuan territory. That's why Xialuo chose to train hundreds of female soldiers before, and then ask them to bring back meteorites from several nearby cities as quickly as possible. As for the meteorites further away, Xialuo actually didn't have much thought in his mind, because Xialuo didn't want to take too many risks. He had lived a comfortable life in Taoyuan. If he went too far and encountered danger when he came back, or had no way to come back, it would definitely be a huge disaster for Xialuo. Strike. But now, with a small teleportation array, Xialuo found that his worries were no longer a problem, because as long as Xialuo leaves Taoyuan and goes to other places, then every time he arrives in a city, he can build a teleportation array. So even if Xialuo is thousands of miles away from Taoyuan, even if the wild is very dangerous, but with the existence of the teleportation array, one teleportation array can teleport a distance of 200 kilometers, and you only need to set up teleportation arrays in 3 cities to travel thousands of miles away. In this way, as long as Xialuo works steadily and builds a teleportation array every time he arrives in a city, no matter how far he leaves Taoyuan territory. As long as Xialuo wants to return to Taoyuan territory, he can come back almost instantly. But the only thing that makes Xialuo feel distressed is that building a teleportation array requires 50,000 energy points, which is 500 first-level crystals. This cost is actually quite high. You must know that 500 first-level crystals can allow 5 superpowers to upgrade their level from first level to second level. But Xialuo feels that building a teleportation array is actually very beneficial. Just like what was said before the end of the world, if you want to get rich, build roads first. In the post-apocalyptic world, the system's teleportation array is equivalent to a superhighway, allowing Lee Charlotte to contact the outside world. Only then can Lee Charlotte have the opportunity to harvest more crystals. So with a decision in mind, Xialuo planned to take action immediately. But before taking action, Xialuo called Shen Miaomio over and told Shen Miaomio a few things. The first thing is that Shen Miaomio, Alice and Xiao Panpan are now familiar with their own powers. Xialuo gave them another second-level crystal, which directly raised their level of powers to second-level class. With them here by then, Xialuo basically doesn't have to worry about the safety of the territory. As for the remaining Shen Yanayan and Qin Yumei, Xialuo has not let them upgrade for the time being. However, Xialuo also told Shen Miaomio that after other women are familiar with and control their own powers, the female soldiers who go out will definitely bring back a lot of crystals. Shen Miaomio can use those crystals and give them to her. Shen Yanayan and Qin Yumei have upgraded. Try to raise the levels of all the supernatural beings in Taoyuan leader to level 2. The second thing is that Taoyuan Ling needs to build a wall. The first phase of the project is to surround the entire Longding Villa area. The height of the wall must be 8 meters high and 2 meters thick. Chapter 325 Flower crystals are like running water. The amount of work required to build an 8-meter high and 2-meter thick wall to surround the entire Longting Villa area is terrifying. Even before the end of the world, it is considered a very big project, but in the post-apocalyptic world, especially in the current Taoyuan territory, this project will not be too difficult, because after Taoyuan leader, there will not only be some ordinary women, but also many second-level superpowers, especially Qin Xianglin's earth power, Su Yan's metal power, Gu Liqina's space power. These abilities of theirs are very useful in building walls, so the speed of building walls in Taoyuan territory will be much faster than before the end. If Li Xiaoluo stayed in Taoyuan Ling, he would take care of these things himself, but since he's going on a long trip now, these things will naturally have to be handed over to Shen Miao. After all, the sooner these things are done, the better. Moreover, Li Xiaoluo can rest assured when leaving the matter to Shen Miao, even if by then, all the female soldiers sent out have retrieved a large number of crystals, Li Xiaoluo can safely hand them over to Shen Miao. If it were an ordinary team, there might still be intrigues and distrust, but there is definitely no such thing here with Li Xiaoluo. The main things have almost been explained, and there are also some other small things. For example, Li Xiaoluo asked Shen Miao to stop going out to look for meteorites or search for supplies on the third day after all the female troops came back from searching for meteorites. The key is to build up the defense capabilities of Taoyuan territory as soon as possible. Also, there may be monsters attacking Taoyuan territory. After killing those monsters, you must first cut open their heads to see if there are any crystals, and then burn them. Having almost explained the matter, Li Xiaoluo thought about it and decided to take Alice with him when he went out this time. After all, Alice's combat effectiveness may be the highest except for Shen Miao. If you encounter any minor troubles then, just leave them to Alice to solve. As for whether taking away Alice will damage the strength of Shen Miao and the others, then there will be no way to protect the safety of the Taoyuan leader headquarters. Li Xiaoluo felt there was no need to worry because at the current Taoyuan leader headquarters, even if you don't count Li Xiaoluo and Alice, there are still 9 superpowers. Although some women's powers are not combat-type powers, there are several women among Shen Miao and others who have combat-type powers, and when the time comes, when their superpower levels are raised to level 2, their combat effectiveness will also be very powerful. In addition, in order to make the territory safer, Li Xiaoluo purchased some equipment from the system store. For example, 8 super reconnaissance drones were purchased, 8 super wireless walkie-talkies were purchased, and 6 nuclear bulletproof vehicles were purchased. These equipment allow the territories on both sides to be divided, which will be of great help to the territory's enemy reconnaissance and information communication. In addition, Li Xiaoluo originally planned to purchase several heavy machine guns from the system store. Although the future apocalypse will be dominated by superpowers, ordinary female soldiers still have to continue to use their remaining energy. Although Shen Miao and the others are powerful, the number of times they can use their powers per day is limited, so sometimes if they encounter weak enemies, just let the women's team deal with them. However, Li Xiaoluo did not waste crystals in the system store in the end, because among the weapons he found at the military base, there were 6 heavy machine guns, but Li Xiaoluo never used them. So since there were ready-made ones, Li Xiaoluo directly left 2 heavy machine guns for Shen Miao and the others to use to protect their territory. In the end, Li Xiaoluo spent 50,000 energy points and then built a teleportation array at the headquarters. When the time comes, Li Xiaoluo will be able to teleport directly back to the headquarters after he goes to build a teleportation array elsewhere. After arranging everything at the Taoyuan territory headquarters, Li Xiaoluo took Alice to the sub-territory first. Come over here. Li Xiaoluo is naturally here to awaken Zhou Xiaotong's superpowers. Zhou Xiaotong has water powers, and her talent is 90, so she is also a genius-level person. So it took several minutes for Zhou Xiaotong to awaken her powers, but she will definitely be much more powerful than ordinary water power users in the future. In addition, although it took Zhou Xiaotong a long time to awaken her powers, like Shen Miao and Alice, she became familiar with and mastered her powers very quickly. So after Zhou Xiaotong was completely familiar with and controlled her powers, Li Xiaoluo spent another 100 first-level crystals to upgrade her powers to level 2. Zhou Xiaotong was extremely happy. Regardless of the fact that Alice and Zhao Min were around, she hugged Li Xiaoluo and took the initiative to give her a sweet kiss. This made Alice on the side a little surprised. Isn't it said that Oriental women are very reserved? Why does this long-legged beauty seem to be more passionate and unrestrained than her? Josiah Twing was happy, but Xialuo felt a little sorry for his crystal. In less than half a day, the flowers and crystals are like flowing water. First, the abilities were activated for Shen Miao and the others, and then the abilities were upgraded. Then Xialuo bought Xiansun cards to copy their abilities. And Xialuo upgraded his abilities. Then there is the purchase of equipment from the system store and the construction of a teleportation array. Now counting the crystals used to upgrade Josiah Tong's abilities, Xialuo used up almost 18 second-level crystals in just half a day, which is 1,800 first-level crystals. The total crystals Xialuo obtained before our first-level crystals, 303, second-level crystals, 43. If all are converted into first-level crystals, there will be a total of about 4,600 crystals. Xialuo used a total of 1,800 crystals in the past half day. Compared to the 4,600 crystals he owned, it didn't seem like many, but actually it's not, because Xialuo can have so many crystals now. It can be said that it all depends on that large meteorite, and without that large meteorite, how difficult would it be to obtain 1,800 first-level crystals, assuming that each meteorite can produce an average of 60 first-level crystals. With 1,800 first-level crystals, a total of about 30 meteorites need to be found. According to the information that Xialuo knew in his previous life, large meteorites are very difficult to encounter. Not to mention that they are found in every city. Sometimes only one or two may appear in a province. As for ordinary meteorites, the number in each city is almost between 40 and 50. In other words, the 30 meteorite crystals Xialuo used in half a day is almost 3/4 of the number in one city. In the previous life, no team could be as wealthy as Xialuo and spend so many crystals casually. Moreover, after ordinary superpowers obtain crystals, they will definitely not be willing to give them to others. They will all think of using them to improve their own strength. However, although Xialuo felt a little distressed after spending so many crystals, he actually didn't care too much, because these crystals are so easy to come by. Unlike in previous lives, many teams often had to pay a heavy price for the crystals in a meteorite. Xialuo felt like he suddenly won 5 million, so he naturally felt happy spending it. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.